Fluffer. We are live. That's right, folks. We are live on a Friday night, and we're, I guess, feeling fluffy. We're gonna roll through a whole lot of wrestling action tonight. We are back for the double header Friday Smackdown and Rampage. We are the Wrasslin for Life Network. We are ready to go. We are gonna light it up tonight. Lots to talk about. Lots of fun with this guy. That's better. And don't go anywhere, folks. Strap in, strap on. We got wrestling coming your way like no other. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are back at it again, folks. We are the Wrasslin for Life Network, and it's a feel-good Friday night on the eve of what is going to be the mega live stream on Saturday night. We are covering more and more wrestling. We'll get into that a little bit later, but yes, we got a jam-packed weekend coming your way. SmackDown is kicking off, and as always, I am Mr. Every Night. I am KJ White. I am the Iron Man of YouTube, and I am joined by the wonderful, the pleasant, the lovely.
I was going to say, you now are getting to the points where you've got almost as many nicknames as I do and everything else right now.
Right.
But no, in honor of SmackDown and everything, I'm feeling very Usi. I found my inner Usi. Have you found your inner Usi?
The Usiest of the Usis, Mr. Big Nick.
Wow. Whoa. I found out allegedly what that word might mean in Tongan, and now it makes it that whole
dude, listen, I assume that was kind of the joke, right? Like, listen, maybe it's just my brain.
Just degenerates.
That's what they were kind of like. That was kind of the euphemism within it all. And I was like, okay. But to hear that, yeah, it might have actually had more of a solid
the delivery meaning alone was crazy enough as it was. And
even if it meant lollipop.
Popping us on stream, pause. So, and it's one of those two, once somebody starts to get the giggles and you're not supposed to laugh, you have to laugh.
Been there. And
speaking of that, though, we have the Bloodline coming out right now, or just the Usos, actually.
Just the Usos. And I did notice tonight in the ad for SmackDown, as we know under Papa Paul, the shows are a little less forthcoming with who's going to be on each show. Right. But the ad that I put out today, it had the Bloodline sans Mr. Roman.
Yeah, well, we're getting the Usos versus the New Day for the tag titles tonight. So
yes,
yeah, I like that they keep Roman as a special attraction. He's the world champ. It's now a big deal that they're starting to think about who's going to dethrone him because it's become such a historic reign.
Right. Oh, there he is. I lied. Roman.
What?
Soto. Paul in the backstage watching.
God damn you and being Canadian and being ahead of me.
All right, well.
No, you're good. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
We're live. I just want to back it up a little because sometimes it gets awkward.
Pause.
Wait, pause and pause?
Right, pause.
Maybe. The Usos versus the New Day Undisputed Tag Team Championships kicks off SmackDown tonight. Damien, you're 100% right. And we will take your predictions in the chat. Let us know, who do you got? You got the Usos? You got the New Day? Hey, what if New Day wants to stop this historic run, Nick.
I've seen and I've heard people speculating because of the War Games Survivor Series poster that the Usos don't have the titles in that match or in that poster. That they may not have the titles then. I think it would be ridiculous to think that, but I have heard so that.
Ridiculous.
Do you honestly see the Usos? Who do you see the Usos losing to? I know everybody talks about who you see Roman losing to. Who do you see the Usos losing it to?
Nobody. Let me think real quick. Maybe the Viking Raiders on a stretch. If I had to pick out of everybody, actually, now that I had a moment, Imperium would be my bet. Send Imperium that way eventually. And you surmise that they might be involved in War Games together.
I was going to say, if you're going to do that, then you're building towards Gunther versus Roman. they have to be tied, I think, if you're going to do it that way. But outside of that, I wouldn't say, even though I've called them the Hot Topic Raiders before, I wouldn't say the Viking Raiders, with the way that they're building them up now, would be a bad show. But hello, Canadian Spaceman, Curtis, Damien, Victor, Larry is here, DeMarcus pointed out a very good point too. We are just about 50 subscribers away from 1K. So if you know somebody who knows a guy, be a friend, tell a friend, whatever you got to do.
If you know somebody with a thumb and they can use it, and they don't even
need a thumb, they just need an opposable finger. I
don't give a fuck if it's their nose. But yeah, no, 150. Listen, it's been I said, we've been the fastest scoring channel for a long time. Like the pace that we've put up is outstanding. And that's not to pump our own tires, it's just the way it is. And to see it climb the last few days, man, I'm just like clipping away. And everybody knows like 1K kind of has a feel to it. So it's not the end of this journey. It's one of our milestones, but to see it be here, to do 200 live streams and be sitting on the verge of 1K, flattered, humbled, happy. And I couldn't think of a better family to be doing this with. So I'm thrilled, man, and pumped to cover more wrestling.
I couldn't put it more beautifully, so I'm going to just say, acknowledge us.
Wow, I like it. Usos retain. We get a thumbs up and a pause.
Finger trick.
How's it going, KJ Thomas? How are you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Get your predictions in, folks. Don't be quiet. Don't be shy. Light up this chat. Talk to us. Let us know what's on your wrestling mind. Let us know what you feel about the show. Let us know who you think.
I was going to say, I know we talk a lot, but we pretty much don't go home until we run out of shit to talk about, and that's mostly just through reading the comments and everything. So we don't go home till you go home.
That's it. We take pride in our work. We don't go home till everyone's got a touch.
Right.
Pause.
Oh, I was about to take a drink, man. God damn it.
Oh, fuck.
So who are you taking, and why is it the Usos?
Yeah, I know it's the Usos for sure. I think, again, this is more of a statement win for the Usos of we are going to beat this record. We are going to be the longest reigning tag champions of all time. This is going to go down as one of the best and most successful faction runs. And if you don't have the Usos and the tribal chief at the top of your best wrestlers of 2022 going into 2023, then you're not paying attention to wrestling. And then you might be the biggest hater of the WWE, but they've been dominant and they've been successful.
Oh, absolutely. They've been like you said it right there, as we've got a 2 count from Kofi. But they've been the most dominant, the most successful, the most prolific, whatever sort of acronym you want to put on it, faction, I would say, in WWE. Now, I guess this just popped into my head like it came on me like a bad idea. Which would you say had a bigger impact in professional wrestling, the Bloodline or the Shield? As now Roman's been part of 2 now historic, I would say, for factions.
Absolutely. You know, that's a tough one. That's a tough one because what wrestling was doing at that time with, and they were kind of involved with some heavy hitters as the Shield, right? They had their bouts with Cena and Lesnar, and they took on, Triple H. And I'm not saying Roman hasn't done that. It's just a different vibe, a different feel. As far as being dominant, I think the Bloodline's been a way more efficient and dominant tag team overall. But as far as impact, dude, that's a great question.
No, I was going to say, as far as we're getting, the New Day stomp going on right now in the corner. And I don't want to take away from this match, but it's a match we've kind of seen a bit frequently. They did have that really good run with a bunch of matches, like they had that tag team Hell in a Cell and everything like that. But it's also it's tale as old as time right now. It's John Cena versus Randy Orton. We've seen it to death. We know it's going to be good every time, but we get it. But I feel like as far as a faction sense, the Bloodline is more, you have a singles guy, you have, a tag team, another singles guy type of stuff, like a mid-card guy, versus the Shield felt like all individual guys. You kind of knew it was going to implode at some point. They're all going to break out and be singles guys. I felt.
Right.
That's the only. That's the thing, is that's getting the nitpicky of the nitpicky right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I mean it's a tough one. I'd really like to break it down. Maybe we'll do that. We'll compare old and new shit. And
that'll be that might be a video coming out here after,
right
at some point.
Real quick, Victor, how you doing, buddy? Ronnie, we got some hellos already. I know Nick hit a bunch of names, but let me in. You're in, sir. You're in.
Yeah, you let yourself in. Why are you asking us? Why?
Yeah, your family. Just come on in.
Right, exactly.
Hassan.
Everybody's family around here. Why?
Right. Now, we're in the first commercial break. The match is still going on. Let us know how you're doing tonight. And happy Friday. You did it, folks. You got another week in the books. We're heading into, well, this is the weekend. So I hope your Friday night is feeling right. You got whatever you need to put a smile on your face. You got it, and you're having a wonderful Friday. That being said, Saturday. Tomorrow we are coming back with fucking everything we got. Saturday, 7 o'clock start time. That's Eastern Standard Time. We will be back here for shit. You ready? NWA Hard Times.
Why?
GCW NGI 7.
Why?
That's funny. I got that one right this time. And we're coming back with Wrestling Revolver. Got him if you smoke. Smoke him if you got him.
What? And if you can't tell that we smoke him when we got him.
Right. And we got him. But that being said, folks, 3 shows plus, we might peek in at the results of a couple other things going on around the wrestling world. But for sure, don't miss the mega stream tomorrow. Tell all your friends if they like hardcore matches, technical matches, death matches, ultra death matches, fucking remix matches, quadruple matches, title matches. Tune the fuck in tomorrow. Do not miss that stream. As it says on the thumbnail, it is the mega stream. And we are going to be here for a few hours. It's going to be a fun one, Nick.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and we've been here. We've done kind of the long streams, the multi-streams before and everything like that. But this is, I think, the most diverse one that we've done in a sense. We're going to have NWA, which is more like the old school technical wrestling and everything, brings you back a little bit when it comes to pro wrestling.
Yeah.
GCW, which is just death match upon death match upon death match, because it's
Carnage.
the Nick Gage Invitational, it's blood, guts, and gore. And then we've got Wrestling Revolver that's somehow like this happy little medium in between the two of them.
Yeah, it's definitely the Goldilocks in this this story where, you get big names. Moxley's going to be on the show, Arn Anderson, which is kind of funny. I guess his son's coming too. I found that out after. Then you got matches. You got Bandido in a match. You got Swerve Strickland going to be in action. The list goes on. Did I say Bandido? I said Bandido.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to NWA, especially with, La Resistance, and I always call them that. Why are they French? But the World Heavyweight title, obviously, we got Trevor Murdoch, Tyrus, and Matt Cardona. I think Tyrus is going to take it, by the way. Not to spoil.
I think. Well, and it's interesting because NWA is lately, as we're coming back from a commercial break, but
we're back.
NWA has been in the headlines a bit lately.
Yeah.
Not for the best of reasons. So it's going to be interesting to see what they put out there.
Absolutely. So just quickly, as this match rolls on, and if you haven't made a prediction yet, make a prediction. Let us know what you think. But Eric says AEW is taped garbage. Not always, but yes, I would prefer if they went live, did something else.
Well, and even at the end of the day, like you were saying there, and surmising beautifully with your lovely soliloquy there of how, even if Rampage isn't live, we're always live. The wrestling may suck, but we never do. So even if you want to just hang out with some wrestling buddies and everything like that, this is the place to be.
Just complete side note. I went to share the thing. We got 81 likes on this bad boy. Like, what happened? Happy Friday, folks. Thank you for the love.
Feel good Friday night, motherfucker.
Right? Now, that being said, Nick, there was a couple comments here that I wanted to click on. Match isn't bad. We expect a decent match with these very professional people. Veterans, they should know each other like the back of their hands. But yeah, we're rolling along.
Big right hand from Jimmy on the Kofi.
So, hello, Beardo and Beardo. We prefer beard and bearder.
Does that make you bearder?
I might.
Just a little. This is getting weird now. I feel like I just need to say pause after everything I say.
Right. 6-pack challenge winner gets a smack. Yes, we're getting a number one contender 6-pack challenge tonight. I've done a 6-pack challenge, a completely different thing.
Well, that fits more into the beardo and bearder and all of that.
Wait, pause. No, it didn't. No. It had nothing to do with beards. Other than what the fuck?
I don't know. But yeah, no, it's gonna. I feel like that's interesting because I almost feel like whoever wins that's getting fed to the laundry, to the wood chipper with going against Ronda right now.
Yeah, I like what they're doing with Ronda, which I mean, everybody knows. I'm sure she's a wonderful lady, even though she doesn't give that impression ever. But I'm not a fan, and this is my favorite idea, concept, push, direction. Call it what you will. This is my favorite for Ronda so far. Line her up with Shayna. Shit, like I keep saying, and I think you've said it as well, Nick. Bring Sonya into the mix. You have opportunity here. And you surround her and make the faction badass. And then it hides the fact that their leader is a bit inept at times.
Well, and I guess it's the one, as we've got a face rake on Kofi there, as Jay comes in with a punch. But it's, I guess, the anti-statement that we've made with AEW, if they have almost too many factions, WWE doesn't have enough of everybody just kind of seem to be floating in the abyss. Yeah. And a lot of people could use some help with pairing up, like we talked about Bobby Lashley wanting to bring back the Hurt Business. I think that would 100%. Really, and well, everybody wants that, from Shelton to Cedric. Christ, yeah, I think even MVP wants to just throw in Omos.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. You keep Omos. There's nothing wrong with having Omos involved in this. I think, yeah, of course, Shelton and Alexander want it back. They've been lost in the abyss, as you put it, the oblivion.
Yeah.
Since the Hurt Business broke up. And I think, listen, I said this at the time, was I had seen the table of, what do you call it? The table of for three on the network. And Bobby spoke so passionately about the Hurt Business and what it represented to him and what it meant to him. I was really disappointed they took it away. Because with the guy having that much belief in what he's conveying, and that much what we talked about yesterday, authenticity. When you have that tied into what you're doing, now we get the Bobby Lashley at his best, and you have a powerful faction that could essentially do on Raw what Roman's doing on SmackDown. And I would buy him as world champion with that around him.
Oh, absolutely. And well, does it now, though, get into the issue with WWE of now you have to have a faction around you to be world champion?
No, I don't think so, because I think you do the a solid
Roman, Ronda. You just said that though with Bobby too.
Okay, yeah, you're getting there, I guess. But Triple H is big on factions, so we'll see what happens.
Well, yeah, the man of DX Evolution.
Yeah, right. Fucking everything. I think if you have a solid baby face going after it, it can break that mold. Now, however, something that was brought to my attention yesterday, and I was really surprised about it, and I think it was you and the chat and us, but
what am I getting idea
now? Of what if Sami went after Roman? What if Sami was becomes the underdog from the underground, and they put an absolute licking on him when this falls apart, and they just keep doing it and keep doing it, and he keeps coming back, little scrappy dude, won't give up, and he becomes the we movement. He's French Canadian, right? See what I did there? But yeah, the more I thought about it, I was like, yo, that's really fucking good.
But that's the thing, is that's why everybody, I don't know if it's exactly if he has to even get, fully beat out, the piss beaten out of him. He needs to get the Austin Theory treatment or anything before he can.
No, not that bad. No.
But I could very much see it now, because that man's just, he's gotten himself naturally over, and that's a thing that doesn't come along often in WWE, especially, let alone professional wrestling. So you kind of just need to run with that. And at this point, I don't know if it would you see him have a long title reign? That's, I guess, a better question on that, because I feel like it might be, you might run into that situation of they get excited for it, and then what?
Then what? Yeah, valid question. I mean, where do you go with it? I think you have a lot of opportunity because, again, he did like if he happened sometime after WrestleMania to be the guy that got away from Roman, then maybe that bleeds into a jealous KO storyline. Maybe that bleeds into something else. Like, I just think it would be a huge, huge pop if he somehow, some way, someday upset for that title.
Oh, absolutely. It would be one of those seismic, like how it could even be a shitty wrestler, but their pop for whatever reason gets put down and, earmarked in the history books. And that's not saying anything towards Sami, because I'm still fascinated with this now friendship bond that their dogs between him and Jim Cornette.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But I still think, and my heart of hearts, at the end of the day, that they're aiming more, because we talked about it before, of a tag team that could take the titles off of the Usos. I think that tag team hasn't come up yet because it's KO and Sami. Because that's what I've heard, is that they've taken KO off of TV because he was supposed to start getting involved with Sami.
Yeah.
And now,
ready for that yet.
Because he's gotten himself over with Philanucci and all of that, that now they've kind of shelved that for a minute.
No, and I kind of want that direction, because I said from day one, if we get to put KO in with Sami again, and they do upset the Usos and they do run amok, and they're like the wingman to some baby face going after Roman, maybe a Drew McIntyre, people have surmised. I don't know if that's my vote. But that being said, if you have that, eventually you're going to get the KO Sami breakup, which is going to be outstanding. And I mean, if you can give these two Canadian kids a WrestleMania match against each other, titles or not, fucking A, giddy up.
You can go back and watch this, and I'll say this as Xavier Woods right now, a house of fire on Jimmy Uso. But I'm dead on positive that I've been on this stream before and called that exact scenario months ago, to where it was not going to be this WrestleMania, but WrestleMania 40, to where we get
you said 40. I was leaning towards
KO Sami breakup. They get their childhood dream match. They get a match against each other at WrestleMania.
I think so. And I'm sure, I mean, you got to think when you're renegotiating, and at that time, a lot of people thought KO was going to bounce, right? I'm sure things like that had to be discussed of like, listen, I want my moments. I don't want to be left off WrestleMania. I want to be considered and used and da-da-da-da-da. And I mean, with Triple H being involved, I think he has an opportunity to do that. There you go. That's what I said. Yeah, the Wii movement.
That's going to be the new thing of how I called him the Ska Moen. It's going to be the Wii movement.
The Wii movement. Let's go. All right, enough of that. But this match still going on, folks. If you haven't made a prediction on who you think is going to win, let us know. Are you happy with the match? Are you happy with the start of the show?
Well, and I think it's been a solid match the whole way, but I think it's, again, like we were saying earlier, 2 count.
Look at that.
Go ahead.
Oh, huge leg drop by Woods. Huge.
Oh, yeah. Man's got ups. I like that he does, like when he was King Woods, he would hit, the giant elbow and all of that.
Yeah, Larry, I'm not surprised that this match is going for a minute. They're always going to give the New Day some level of respect, even if we don't quite get it.
Right. Well, that's kind of what I was getting to a little bit there, of that. It's a great match. It's always going to be a good match, but we've at this point seen it enough. We know what's going to happen and how that's going to go. So that's why we're talking about other things in this, that, and the third while this is going on.
Yeah, I think we don't realistically see the New Day. The only couple people online were like, "What if Big E came back?" And I was like, "Okay."
Still you do it on a random ass SmackDown and you don't hype that shit up. Those.
Yeah, could you imagine? So Big E comes back, helps them win the titles, and somehow we have a surprise New Day versus the Bloodline feud going, and Big E's the guy, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know.
That would be,
know.
Yeah,
But
I don't want to rush that man back at all. I'll rush Cody back before I rush that back.
right, and they're not going to rush Cody back either. But ding, 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 let's go Rumble.
Right.
I keep saying it. It's going to be the Royal Rumble, brought to you by Earl Redenbacher.
Pop of the night. I in my heart of heart, my hope of hope, my smoking the hopium, watch your call of you get say Cody at 29 and then at 30. Oh, and then at 30 you get look in my eyes.
But man, like,
oh my god.
I know when I threw that out there, a lot of people were like, "You're mental.
You're touched."
But I think it just sells. I mean, I think it's just such a good angle of like, could you fucking imagine? Anyway, was it weird seeing him do be back on commentary last night? See those clips?
Man looked uncomfortable as shit.
Didn't he look stiff as fuck?
Yeah, it's so weird to watch where in the wrestling ring and all of that, he's 100% calm, laid back, trying to actually do commentary and be serious. Stiffer than
two count.
Big splash. Double Uso splash, 2 count.
And the crowd is up.
I think that spot right there, like I said, just sucked everybody right back into it. We just stopped talking about whatever we were. We're just like, they hit the double splash.
Yeah, well, man, you couldn't do out. Like, I mean, maybe one day we get like, that surprise. You know what, KO? I got somebody to take you on. I'm sick of your shit. Now Generico comes out and we get a pop for the smart.
And then Ezekiel comes out, and then Elrod comes out.
Right. However, I mean, you can't put Sami Zayn in a mask. What are we thinking?
No, at this point, you can't. Don't hide that beautiful ginger beard. Pause.
So the Usos are in control, setting up the day one day, the 1D.
Yeah. I find it.
Nope.
Do you like that they've kind of taken, obviously, that move from the Dudley Boys and all of that?
I like it. And I'm sure they wouldn't have done it without.
Oh, I think they would much asked for blessings and all that.
They had to have. I couldn't imagine them not doing it. I think if by now, once they started using it, if especially Mr. Bubba Ray, he's got a platform to vent some of his frustrations, I think he would have beat that drum hard and fast.
Pause. But yeah. Oh, big guy from Woods onto the outside. So I almost wonder.
Shit, no.
Big elbow, and this could almost be more of a topic for Rumble. Oh, tornado DDT. Tag in. Kofi going up top. What?
Where's Jay? There's Jay. Woo! It's a beard conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
Nick, every Sunday, tune in for the beard conspiracies, where the two bearded guys just talk about.
Oh my god, we could do that 100%. The beard conspiracy hour.
Just going about wrestling conspiracy.
Even CJ's got the little scruffle going on there too. So
yeah. I don't. Yeah. And we can get Ashley to get a fake one.
Just get a Santa Claus beard. It's getting around Christmas time, and
right?
Everything. Just buy a Santa Claus beard. There you go.
All 4 men down.
But so what I was saying of this might be more of a Rumble topic, as I'll say this as they pan out. But could you make how we had the Dudley Boys, Jeff Hardy, and Edge and Christian, or the Hardy Boys, I should say, and Edge and Christian back in the Attitude Era? Could you do that now with like modern WWE? If we'd have probably the Usos in there as like the Dudley Boys.
Mm-hmm.
It is the New Day, Edge and Christian.
Yeah, I guess in this scenario, I mean, they're not the Hardys.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like I said, that might be more of a Rumble topic, or might be a big conspiracy topic now, since apparently we're just getting new show after new show.
Right.
But yeah, no, I just think that's an interesting way to look at it, because they've borrowed, very much the Dudleys move.
Yeah. Now, real quick, and I just want to point this out. We're just about to hit the 30-minute mark of the stream. Oh shit! It's done.
Double head conk,
dude.
Oh,
1D out of nowhere.
Right. Paying homage to RKO, the Randy right now, I guess, with that one. Just
outstanding.
Hey, shout out Zito. I see Zito from McAfee show right there in the front row. But yeah, no, that was a slow build match. That was a slow burn, but in the end, 100%.
I thought it was a good match.
Right.
You know they're going to give us those near falls and back and forth, but it builds. It built. It was good. It was solid. The Usos with a big win. And what a fucking end. Hallelujah.
Oh, absolutely. And we cut back to Roman and Heyman and all them backstage. But Roman still looks like he's like pissed for some reason.
No, he's just introspective.
Brooding.
Introspective.
But no, that was a hell of a match, hell of a way to end that. Like you said, 1D pause out of nowhere, pause.
Out of nowhere, drilled Kofi Kingston, gets the 1-2-3, and still you're unified, undisputed tag team champions at this point. And dude, who's going to stop them? I mean, they're on a record-breaking run, and they're going to break that record. I'm convinced now.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and I like too that like you had the New Day hit the midnight hour and everything. Like you thought legitimately, we both popped for it and everything.
I had a minute of like,
they might actually do it, and that's part of why you put them with a team like the New Days. They could actually win it.
Mm-hmm. The New Day are goofy like Edge and Christian. Fair enough.
See, one ahead looks smart. There you go.
Oh, the World Cup. Look who's in it.
So we got Ali, Nakamura, Braun, Rick O'Shea, Jinder. Jinder's alive. Jinder's still on the roster. Sammy, Butch, and Escobar. So I guess that's the first round matchup is Escobar versus Nakamura. I was wondering, fully why that match.
Okay, Japan versus Mexico.
What? No, this isn't AEW with the All Atlantic to where, I'm pissed that there was no Jurassic era flag for Luchasaurus. Just put Jurassic Park. Christ, God damn it, you're working with fucking Warner Studios and all that.
Right, let's go.
T-Rex there up there.
I really wish the New Day won, Daniel Clark says. I would love to agree with you, Daniel, but nah.
Not quite. Not quite.
I kind of feel like this is closer to the truth.
A little bit.
I mean, listen, no offense to the New Day. For over a decade, they've been outstanding, and they've gotten all their accolades and won many titles and had really good matches. They have had, it wasn't all jokes and giggles and goofball, antics. When they got in the ring, they actually could go, and they're great when they go.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. Well, and that's even part of why we had Kofi Mania, why we had the big breakout situation with Big E. I feel like that, because of those great moments that they built up as a faction and as a unit, led to those great moments that we had with them as singles.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm pulling a CM Punk. I got a muffin.
Right, you goddamn muffin. Shout out to, what was it, Mindy's Bakery?
Shout out to Mindy's Bakery. Didn't make this muffin, but I'm sure.
Old and I work with fucking children.
Right, but yeah,
we're in a commercial break. We can talk about them right now if you want, with them getting a whole return promo video and all of that coming off of a suspension, which means you did a bad thing.
But you got to hype them up. I mean, I don't disagree. You got to hype them up.
You did a bad thing.
Yeah, but the bosses sided with you. So once you make that pivot,
well, yeah, that's
you say fuck it, and you got to build up the return. My problem is I don't like them, so like hyping up the return does nothing for me.
Well, yeah, to me it solidifies, like I said before all of this, that Tony very clearly picked a side in this whole situation, and unfortunately, I feel like he's picked the wrong. Well, I feel like he was kind of choosing between a douche and a turd sandwich. He had no good option in that situation because at that point, Punk was going to sue him. Punk was pissed off. Punk wanted out.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for him that he didn't have the ability to kind of find a common ground that didn't require anybody to leave. That you could have find some way to be adult and professional about it, but
we were already too far down that train track.
Yeah, we had rolled down that rabbit hill.
Bray Wyatt.
We are expecting some Bray Wyatt tonight. Nice transition. But yeah, I mean, dude, you're bringing them back. You've made your decision. Fine. But you better fucking make it count. And now we saw Raw do 1.4 something million. Dude,
yes.
Don't you, if you're Tony Khan, don't you wish you could walk CM Punk to the middle of the ring and spike that needle to 1.1, 1.2 and be that close? Could you imagine if a Dynamite completely number to number outperforms a Raw? You're not
it would be off. The biggest shot across the bow that they've ever landed. And it's interesting, and I know I'm beating this drum to death, I feel like, at this point, of it being WCW. But when your big return and your big surprise and all of that is Jeff goddamn Jarrett, and he instantly goes into taking a shot at WWE and everything, you're going back to the little brother pot shotting and everything.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I hope they give Santos Escobar a push, says DeMarcus. I think they will. Like we've said it on the stream before and everything of it's pretty much just they're doing Andrade better than Andrade did it. That's why Andrade's trying to get fired from AEW.
Trying to get fired. He's literally doing everything he can. He goes, I don't care. I'll join El Fantastic.
Well, I don't care. I'll punch him. I'll show up and punch him. What do I need to do? Get me the fuck out of here. To where Tony
but I've never ever had a boss.
If you contact him, you won't get fired. Why?
I've never had a boss look at me and go, say, KJ, if you hit that guy, you're not getting fired. Oh,
but you will be suspended.
Uno momento.
With pay.
Yeah, I gotta grab something.
Very good. Man, set me up. There we go for the time being. Oh, so what? There we go. See, I got my buddies to hang out with. And just like how I got you people in the fine, beautiful people in the chat, as we've now got the Usos backstage with Roman. So what did you guys think of that match? And I guess where we've kind of already touched on a little bit. What do you guys think? Who do you think out of that group is going to win the World Cup? Because I feel like Sami, with it guaranteeing an Intercontinental title match and everything, maybe Sami wins it, and that's how we get into a Imperium versus Bloodline feud. Because of personal reasons, honestly, that man's addressed that as it is, so I don't see why it exactly matters, honestly. But we've got Roman right now talking to the Usos. I like that. Santos, I don't know if he'll take over WWE, but I think they're going to definitely get a push behind him. Damien says, I can't believe Nyla Rose is having an open challenge for Jade Cargill's championship tonight on Rampage. I think that it's been weird and interesting at the same time what they've been doing with the whole Jade Cargill, Nyla Rose feud to where, she's back there singing, and it's all just based around the fact that she stole the title. Just because you have the physical title doesn't mean you're the actual champion, what have you. It's not bad. I mean, I feel like it's kind of one of the first real feuds that they've given for Jade with that title. But we've got right now Nakamura coming out. So we're going to get Nakamura versus Escobar. So let me know who you're taking for that match. And they're showing off the World Cup trophy, which is interesting because I think the last person to win it was Shane McMahon when he was the greatest in the world, the best in the world, when he filled in for The Miz and ended up winning it all, of how Shane's wanted to be the last man at one of the last four in the Rumble and all of that, and when he was on his whole Vince ego kick. But I do find it interesting that they're doing this right now. AEW's brought out the All Atlantic title. I feel like this might be a little bit more of a ploy of, well, people are going to talk about the actual World Cup, so we'll just get them when they search for that. They'll also pull up our stuff too as well. But so let me know who you're taking for this match, whether it's Shinsuke Nakamura or Escobar. I think, Escobar, honestly, more of just because he just debuted, just got called up. I think they're going to put a push behind him and everything. Nakamura, I feel like they had that great match with him and Walter to where it was strong style versus strong style, pause. But now they've kind of let it slide back to where he showed up in NXT. He was backstage hanging out with Hit Row. So are they going to really get behind Nakamura again? See, Ronnie's taking Nakamura. Mike's taking, so apparently I'm the outlier, I guess, with taking Escobar. Last night, Chelsea Green has officially left Impact Wrestling. But just because she's left Impact doesn't mean that she's going to go to WWE. I know Lady Frost just got her release from Impact Wrestling as well. We just saw Mia Yim come from Impact back to WWE. But I feel like if Chelsea Green shows up, Cardona would be close behind, or if not before her. Pause. So, and I don't think he has any intent of going back to WWE. Chelsea and Emma, well then, shit. Why don't we just get Deonna Purrazzo back too? We'll just suck the blood out of Impact. Pause. But so now I want to see how, since we've got the title eliminator tournament going on in AEW up till Full Gear, and how we're going to see that later on tonight with Rampage, how the WWE is going to do this tournament, because it does have a lot of potential and a lot of star power and a lot of interesting matchups with Escobar versus Nakamura. And AEW, if you've watched us for even 5 minutes, I feel that when Eddie Kingston went out, sucked the life out of me. Pause. But we're going to get Dante Martin versus Brian Cage. We're going to get Roosh versus Bandido tonight. So it's going to be interesting now that both companies are doing a tournament at the same time. It's going to be interesting to see. I guess it's going to be a 1A to 1B comparable. Chelsea is good friends with Britt Baker. Yeah, well, we also haven't seen Adam Cole in quite a while. You never know, Hunter's in charge of WWE. Bobby Fish has been backstage at WWE and is a free agent. So maybe Adam Cole starts looking at WWE as an option to go back to if he can, weasel his way out. Why?
Hi. I didn't mean to do that. How are you? I'm good to go. Technical errors fixed.
Sounds good. You're a little loud.
Oh, I've been told that before.
Right.
But Big E comes back and should turn heel. Cost Kofi and Xavier their title match, possibly at Mania. I think you should come back and go heel, though.
Everybody wants that New Day triple threat match like we got with the Shield, speaking of what we were talking about earlier and everything with that. I don't ever want that match. Let them go out as always being friends. Power of positivity, folks.
Fair enough. But I do want, I would like to see like a Big E with an attitude.
Well, you can have that, but he doesn't have to be heel. I think you got that a little bit when he had the world title run, but he ran into the buzzsaw that is Roman Reigns, the tribal chief.
Very true. Chelsea Green's good friends with Britt Baker, Nick.
Yes, I addressed that earlier.
Oh, okay.
JV. Hey, KJ, did you know 1 and 1 is 3? Why?
Most days. Most days.
Oh, that's what we got on right there. But yeah, so who you taking, Nakamura or Escobar?
I like Escobar for this one. I know you picked Escobar as well, but to me, it makes sense. I mean, there's arguments for both, but I think Escobar right now, you just got him back. He's got his crew around, so you have an out there where some type of cheat or some type of heelish play comes into to be a factor for this one.
Right. And I will touch on JV's comment right quick. No, it was Brock Lesnar who beat Big E. Yes, but that was setting up the match for Roman. There you go. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. But yeah, I think, well, it's interesting, and I guess I'll ask this because I asked the audience, and if they want to comment, let me know 100%. Out of what that lineup that they showed, who do you think wins the World Cup out of that group?
I think Sami would be a front runner.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Sami. I don't think Escobar's going to win it outright. There was someone else in there that I think has a really good shot. I mean, Butch would be a bit of a dark horse. If it comes down to Butch and Sami,
you get Pete Dunne versus Walter 3.
Yeah, I'm in.
Right.
Take my fucking money on that one. Why not? For a belt?
Yeah, I mean, I know he does the Butch character, but in the ring, he still wrestles very much like Pete Dunne. I'm surprised LA Knight wasn't in it, but I do. Is it interesting that they're big showing on the Titantron, like the flags and everything? Like they're all Atlanticing more than AEW.
Well, I mean, it's a World Cup, so they're going around the world, right? Like they're not limiting themselves to all Atlantic, which at this point we don't know what it quite means, what the definition in AEW of all Atlantic is.
I'm still saying they needed a Jurassic Park flag for Luchasaurus, for Lucha Cade.
Nice, love it. The slide out suplex off the middle rope.
Oh, the like draping suplex.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know the official name of it. Taya Valkyrie does it as well.
But well, that's the thing is, it's one of those moves that only a few people do, and
I like it.
You know, the people that do hit it perfectly.
Yeah. I want Shinsuke to win, but I see Escobar actually winning. Fair enough.
Yeah, well, because we had that fantastic match between Nakamura and Gunther, where it was strong style versus strong style, and then he's kind of backslid since then. He went down to NXT for a night. He was hanging out backstage with Hit Row. He's kind of just been floating around now.
Right? Flying knee on Escobar. Kick out at 2. Andrade or Santos? Interesting. I like this one.
For the custody of Zelina, are we going back to, like the custody of Dom and everything?
Right. Yeah, no, that's too funny. But like I keep saying, Escobar did what Andrade had been trying to do better. And I'm a big fan of what Escobar did with the NXT Cruiserweight title, or whatever the 205 title, whatever the fuck you want to call it. He did extremely well. He actually brought some respectability to that title before they retired it. And then he continued on. And I think he was great in NXT. I'm happy that he's here now. And I think he's got a lot of potential. Now, that being said, I would love to see an Andrade versus Santos match.
Oh, 100%. Like I said, I think Andrade is trying to do anything and everything he can to get the fuck up out of there, especially now with, being married to Charlotte and everything, and her potential return impending. So it's going to be interesting because I feel like I said, I think Andrade is trying to get back to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And so I almost feel at this point that match somewhere with the way professional wrestling is going in 2022, I feel somehow, some way that match is going to happen in the not too distant future.
Listen, 2023 could be an outstanding year in wrestling. 2022 has been an absolute roller coaster, but there's still a lot of things to be figured out, and we're heading into a very highly anticipated Rumble, a highly anticipated Mania. We're all anticipating AEW to figure their shit out. We're all anticipating, where this is all going to go in the landscape of wrestling over the next 12 months. So,
Oh, we talked about it before, though, of how this is probably the most anticipated Rumble. It's the second highest selling. But you could literally draw a name out of the hat and make a pick to win.
Sorry, Nikki. Sorry, Nick.
No, you're good.
Wow.
Oh, I'm getting there.
Wow.
Nakamura up top on his shoulders on the top rope. Oh, Super Blue Thunder Bomb. What? That's a hell of a move.
Drilled Nakamura, takes the 3 count, and Escobar moves on without that much in the way of help from a little bit of a distraction, but Nakamura took care of them pretty good. But pretty clean win for Escobar at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, that very much.
That's
coming off of former IC title holder, former tag title holder, former WrestleMania, one of the main events of that. So, yeah.
All right. So we got the first person to move on in the World Cup on Fox. Tying in. What?
Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say, are you surprised that LA Knight's not in it?
Who's representing the USA?
Good question. I have to try and Rick O'Shea. I know I say that he's an Irish wrestler. He's not actually Irish. The WWE take me seriously on saying that he's an Irish wrestler because I say Rick O'Shea.
Right. And I will touch on this. Now we're getting a little promo. I will say this real quick. It is Remembrance Day here in Canada. It is Veterans Day in the United States of America. So big shout out to everybody today.
Right.
Hats off to those. We have our moment of silence in the morning. Yes, a day to remember. And I don't know about you, Nick, but I have definitely family that had been through some wars. So, a sentimental day for sure to reflect.
Oh, absolutely. I've had plenty of veterans in my family. I know plenty of veterans, all of that. So 100%. Hats off to anybody that gives that commitment.
Absolutely. So where do we go from here? I want to see Escobar versus Rey Mysterio in this tournament because it would be very interesting, except they're kind of representing the same place. Kind of.
No, one's representing San Diego.
Yeah. Well, I guess that goes to Ricochet. So.
We still need goddamn Dom versus Ray. Are they going to try and save that all the way to WrestleMania?
I got that feeling. I have a feeling like in my head, Nick, right now as we sit here, it's something like we don't really talk about it. It's not really mentioned until somehow they both end up in like the Rumble together. They bump into each other. One throws the other one over, and then it leads to Mania. Like we get a Mania match.
I do think that we're going to get, like I think we talked about it with, say, even Brock and Bobby. I think we're going to get a lot of Mania feuds started through the Rumble.
Yeah, absolutely. And then generally they're supposed to. Oh, here we go. Watch me. They've added that to the. Wow, okay. I don't recall getting watch me coming out of the speaker.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
But, yeah.
Oh, I just kind of heard it now, but we've got Liv coming out right now.
So we're getting this pack challenge.
Wow.
Like I said, I've done a few 6-pack challenges. It wasn't like this.
Is it right? I have a keg instead of a 6-pack, folks.
Well, and I will say that, generally at the end of a good 6-pack challenge, all the women kicking around looked like the 6 women participating in this one. So it happens. It happens.
I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole there, Mr. Grinch.
Mr. Grinch.
But so, yes, for this match, we've got Liv Morgan, what? Raquel Rodriguez, what? Shotzi, what? Sonya, what? Lacey Evans, what? And Xia Li, what? Who are you taking? Shotzi.
Oh, Lacey Evans still exists.
Yeah. Does she have the poo smudge on her forehead like she did
I do not see the Arnold Predator smudge on her face.
Right. Do it now. Yeah.
It doesn't matter who does a good Arnold. It pops me. I can't help it. It's so ridiculous. You can't believe that guy won.
I don't even know if mine's good. I just gotta do it.
Yeah, doesn't matter. The New Day expired when they lost their belts. I don't know about that, but I think they kind of fall in the Dolph Ziggler category of we watched them do the same shit for so long, right?
Right.
Live from Louisville, Kentucky on Monday night.
Ooh. Right in Jim Cornette's backyard.
I was about to say, I wonder if old Jimbo wants to head over to the stadium and see what's going on.
Right.
That'd be the biggest pop of pops. He walks out.
That would be. Tony Khan would have a mental breakdown if there was a segment on Monday Night Raw with Hunter, Jim Cornette, and Sami Zayn. Make it happen.
Right? Jesus Christ. That'd be funny as shit. I know, but we all know, A, Jim doesn't like to go out of the house, and B, I understand why he has to not participate in wrestling because he says too much about wrestling. So, you know, if he receives a paycheck from WWE for even a segment with Sammy, people are gonna, shit on his credibility, and that man's stacked with credibility. So tough break.
Oh, that I jokingly say I'm the wrestling Rolodex and everything like that. That man's the goddamn wrestling encyclopedia.
Yeah, he's that full set that they used to show up at your doorstep.
Right, it's the Encyclopedia Britannica. But yeah,
your mom would buy it like, this is going to make you smart.
Right. I know he doesn't like to leave Castle Cornet, but it's still just, that's just the first thing that popped into my head, that it's going to be right there.
What's up, Mr. Austin? How you doing tonight? We're not doing anything. LOL.
Okay. What? We got Stone Cold in the chat. What?
Yeah, well.
Not a beer. What? Another beer. What?
A six-pack.
What?
Here we go.
We got a six-pack challenge. What? Monday Night Smackdown. What?
Christ. Right. You pick Shotzi for the six-pack challenge. I'm going to pick Liv.
I think Liv is honestly the odds-on favorite, but I feel like whoever wins this, like I said, is getting thrown into the buzzsaw right now that is Ronda Rousey. Example, Natalya with her broken nose.
Right. So to me, that's why I would disqualify Liv from that possibility.
But you picked her.
I know I picked her, but that's what your theory makes me doubt my pick.
So then why'd you fucking pick her?
Because you gave your theory after I had my pick in.
Well, at least I didn't give my theory in an open challenge like Austin did.
Right. Escobar versus Andrade, Vega on a pole match.
No, Russo doesn't live here anymore.
Who wouldn't want to see that? I mean, I'm down.
Can I go as one of the people who wouldn't want to see that?
I mean, let's do it. Fuck it.
Not on a fucking pole match. Like, was this Judy Bagwell on a forklift?
That's even better. At least Selena could do something off the forklift.
No, they need a shark cage because they have to have a new shark cage toy coming out or something like that. Some fucking play set that they can advertise.
Last Saturday's Crown Jewel was the most watched Saudi Arabia WWE event in history, almost doubling last year's Crown Jewel. Wow.
God damn. Well,
WWE loves telling you that shit too.
Oh, yeah. Just the random obscure, like, we're the first if you watched us on a Saturday at high noon during a full moon, like, all that shit. It's like, cool. But it is insane that the money that they make from that deal and what they've made so far from that deal is more money than every WrestleMania put together. Roman Reigns special moment tonight. Why?
Wait. LA. Oh, look, we're getting a Bray Wyatt Twitch on LA Knight. We're getting a screen Twitch on LA Knight. And LA's like you. What? He's wondering why he's not in. Look, LA caught it. LA knows it's happening.
Well, it's even like what happened with Alexa and Asuka.
I don't need his stuff here. This is my time. Look! I'm here.
Oh, man.
My name's Bray. Folks, Bray Wyatt is in the building.
Oh, holy shit. Fucking jump scare and a half. I fucking came back looked up, and there's Bray face to face with LA Knight.
So what do you think about this being the first angle?
Oh, it's very interesting. I think it's shiny, shiny, shiny.
I like it. I think they're going to give us a good match. I'm a little surprised because I half thought Bray might go towards a babyface, but clearly LA's dug right into heel. So,
well, I think it is internally Bray's down as the number one babyface on SmackDown. So I think they're trying to do that kind of tweener babyface type thing of to where I'm going to do some very bad things. But it's still LA, like you said, LA Knight's the heel in this situation still.
Yeah. Ray. LA tells him take his puppets and put him where it gives him pleasure. Oh.
Go to your little romper room.
Oh, shit. Bray's back.
Oh, headbutt.
Headbutt.
The first offensive maneuver we've gotten from Bray Wyatt in WWE is a headbutt.
Bray Wyatt has struck a man. Struck a man.
Right. Right hand. Right hand.
Right head. Right head.
Right up. Pause. Pause.
Is that what it meant?
No, that would be super interesting as the first feud and everything.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that's where we're going with it, right? And the thought behind the scenes must be that doesn't matter what we do with Bray. When we send him out there, the fans are going to cheer for him. So we got to,
they're not wrong. They're not
he
wrong.
Can be dark and creepy, but we're going to put him up against the heel because people love cheering for him.
Right.
Here comes Shotzi.
Real quick, I'm going to just say, Tony, take notes for MJF. But yes, my pick right now for this match, now that she's got her tank back, now that she might be getting, her buddy back in Tegan Knox, allegedly, supposedly coming back. What?
Was that new? Is this new music for Raquel?
Oh, maybe.
She's too happy. Why can't she be a heel? Dude, it's killing me. Killing me.
Whoa. And even if they did it like Jordan Grace as a baby face, but still comes out looking like a fucking badass. You're the biggest bitch there, pause. Supposedly, no offense. But you're, Mrs. Brawny Strowman. You're coming out, you're, the She-Hulk of, the WWE right now and all of that. So come out there and just look like an impressive badass instead of like, here, watch me smile and flex. Like awkward. She was supposed to be Beth Phoenix and she's turned into fucking Lex Luger.
So we literally have a 6-pack challenge. I don't know the last time we had a 6-way match, Nick, in any association. I think it's
I like that if you're gonna do it, you do it sparingly. You're not Tony Khan of everything's got a gimmick. Let us know who you're taking for this match. You got 6 options, so trust me, the odds are ever in your favor.
No, they're not actually.
Fuck off. Give them hope.
Right, give them a hope. Smoke the hope. Get your pick.
I'm trying to work a gig here.
Right. Oh shit! Sonya Deville just popped Lacey Evans. 6-way challenge or 6-pack challenge is on and rolling.
Sonya with a big ass knee on the leash.
Okay, so you just got the knee. I know where you are.
There we go.
A little bit. This is one hell of a match in SmackDown so far. Hey, I was going to say earlier, the Usos were on TV for the first 45 minutes of Raw and the first 35 minutes of SmackDown this week. Just food for thought.
What you're saying is they're talented.
Well, yeah, talk about carrying the flag.
Right. Well, I think that's kind of what the elite wants to be, what the Bloodline is.
It's Braun.
Brawny, what?
Braun Strowman's representing the USA.
Oh, well, if Brawny's in there, we're gonna get.
Now was Braun and Ricochet in it?
Yeah, to USA.
Okay, that's weird. That's not fair.
Well, America.
America. Fuck yeah.
Right. Oh, Raquel in the corner. And so what do you think now that we've gotten Extreme Live now, that we're getting, Harley Quinn Live?
It's weird in the sense that out of nowhere, she decided she just wanted to fuck everything up. All of the things.
Everything.
Right? Everything. Sami is representing Canada.
Yeah. Or is he representing the Isle of Samoa now because he's the honorary Us? You muted yourself.
No, I know. I didn't want to cough in your ear twice, so.
Okay. Well, no, I saw a mouth moving and I didn't hear anything.
I see a lot of this.
This is what you're doing. This is what I want you to do.
Right. Once, we're setting up this.
Riley going up top.
No. Ooh. All right. What was the question? What did you say?
I said, or is Sami representing the Isle of Samoa now because he's the honorary Us?
That post today of like Sami's heritage was killed me.
Oh,
I've realized I'm Samoan.
Big ass superplex from Raquel onto Zaya. Now, is this match elimination? I don't know if they announced that. Is this? Yeah, I wonder if this is elimination or if this is wow.
Oh, I think it's one fall to the finish.
Interesting.
I think they said one fall. Now, folks, we are back in a commercial break. I will remind everyone as we hit the first hour, heading towards the second hour. And remember, at the top of this hour, we will be transitioning to AEW Rampage because we cover it all, folks. Tomorrow night, 3 shows, 3 pay-per-views. Oh my God. I maxed out the characters you can use when you make the little description thing because there's so much shit going on tomorrow night. Even YouTube didn't have enough room for me.
We're breaking the algorithm, folks.
Right. We're going to be here tomorrow night. GCW, NWA, Wrestling Revolver. If you're a fan of independent wrestling, if you're a fan of Impact or New Japan's got a little bit of flavor in there, or the hardcore death matches and GCW, the traditional matches like NWA. We got so much tomorrow night. Do not miss the mega stream.
I feel like I should cue in like the Godzilla music right now or something like that.
Right. Boom, boom. Hey, yo. What's your pick for the 6-pack challenge? KJ Nick. Well, he went with Shotzi. I'm going to go with Liv. I mean, it seems like it can't be Sonya. Could it?
Do we go back to Liv versus Ronda after we just had it?
Oh no, that's a good point. Can I want to pull my back.
Redaction.
I don't like my pick at all.
No, it's just
you know what?
Go ahead.
Raquel would be a good show.
Raquel?
Yeah, Smiley Raquel getting beat up by Sonya and Ronda each week.
Shit, will you have her? No, because you'd have to have Raquel go over Shayna.
She probably would, though. Eventually.
Yeah.
If you do it right. I'm okay with that.
If you want to take Raquel, go ahead.
Well, I mean, Liv sucked as a pick, too. So what am I going to say?
Oh, what? That maybe just I might have been, I picked the good one and taken Shotzi. She's still a good baby face, but she's still getting fed to the wood chipper that is Ronda Rousey, the armbar collector.
Yeah, I mean, she seems like the most sacrificable out of the group.
Maybe that's where we get that, and Shayna gets involved, and that's when we get Tegan Knox back. Why?
Ooh, spicy meatball. I assume that right? Not bad. I mean, I partly thought maybe Tegan would be involved to, kind of oppose her old friend Dakota.
And see, this is the weird issue that I take with all of this is that the Raw Monday Night Women's roster is almost getting overstacked at this point. Of now you have Asuka, Io, Alexa, Bailey, Bianca. You have so many people. Becky's still over there. You have so many people on that side of And no offense to the women on SmackDown, but unless you start seeing Charlotte, Sasha, Naomi go over that way, it feels a little B tier versus A tier.
Any chance Xia Li surprises everybody?
No.
How about Scotty No?
How about no, you crazy you crazy Canadian bastard. Who has a better? Okay, I'll second that question. Who has a better chance, Lacey Evans or Xia Li?
Xia Li.
Touche. I would agree with that.
You were like, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Right, that one makes more sense. Speaking of that, we have Xia right now up on the corner with Lacey Evans.
Get the chopper.
Get to the chopper. Yeah, do it. Listen to me. We're here watching SmackDown. Yeah, do it. You should subscribe. Do it. Yeah.
It started very Arnold, and by the end, it faded a little into what do you call it? Fucking
I don't know. I'm not in your head.
Hans Gruber.
What?
Liv Morgan. I say Raquel for the win. There you go. Raquel.
What? Everybody's taking that. Cornette is wrestling. No, he just likes to think he is. He likes to think he's, the all-seer. He's the Stan Lee of professional wrestling, apparently. He just wants to show up and do cameos.
Whiskey and bourbon. Is Impact pay-per-view on? No. Next week.
No. Next week.
Next Friday, we do Triple Header Friday.
What?
Right? We got a mega show tomorrow. Triple Header Friday next week. Full Gear is coming up. Where's my trusty calendar? Trying to keep track.
That we cover. So I'll just, while he's looking for that, folks, I'll take over here. That we cover that much wrestling and everything. That not only does he have a calendar, we both discussed about actually getting calendars and everything to map this shit out at this point. Because we're, like I've said,
next week,
right? But like I've said,
19th.
And it's not a lie. It's not a fucking gimmick. I'm not trying to just pump the tires or anything. Nobody does it like we do. Big things popping, little things stopping. Up to something. Season never stops, motherfucker.
Skinnamarink dinky thing. I choose Raquel. Look, dude, I wasn't so crazy. A lot of people. What? Are you just naming them all?
What? Saki. What? Tequila. What?
Oh, table. I wouldn't. I would. I don't know what I would or wouldn't.
Why?
Crowd popping for a table.
Oh, we've got the furniture now. Well, wouldn't this be a DQ, or do we have the AEW official that lets the fucking mic spot to where he's punching Bryan Danielson in the head with the microphone slide?
No, see, that's different. That's a one-on-one. This is a six-pack challenge. You can't really have a DQ in it.
Touche.
Uh-oh. Breaking news, fellas. We're getting a special moment tonight. Yes, we are. I don't know what that means.
I was going to say, Gilly, I know where you're going with that.
You think that's kind of a poke?
I will not acknowledge that.
You think that's kind of a poke at Tony?
Liv comes diving out of nowhere, and
they
all kind of go splat across the table.
They all did. Ooh, Bray Wyatt's first
jalopy.
Are you surprised he went after LA Knight? I'm okay with it.
I know it's the first kind of feud or attack or whatever he's been involved in or whatever. I'm still waiting for them to kind of tie all these threads together.
What is happening right now?
A giant ass pause for the cause, I guess.
Where are the other three women?
Are we right?
Oh, there's Shotzi.
There's no count out, like you said.
No count out.
Right, but so I'm like, we just cut to them being down for like a solid minute and a half.
There is 6 women in this match, and the crowd is chanting tables. You couldn't pick one? There wasn't one in the 6 you wanted to. Oh, fuck you, Nick.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
My imagination or that slightly botched ending?
Oh, I feel like something happened because, like I said, the Raquel Liv spot with the table, the Sonya, that looked a little sloppy jalopy, pause, for that whole situation. And with how much they were fucking sitting there cutting it, it looked like they were still trying to relay to people of like, shit, they're not getting up, so we need to go home. And so I think this is what they went with.
SmackDown War Game, SmackDown WWE War Games. What?
What?
Fuck. War Games will now see Shotzi Blackheart take on the world champion Ronda Rousey.
I don't think it'll be a bad match. Honestly.
No, I do. I feel like she beat the shit out of her like a month ago on SmackDown.
Well, then here, I'll take a little pause. You let the people know what you think, why you think that that's going to be a bad match.
I don't think it's going to be a good match. I'm not crazy about the booking. They could surprise me. I just feel like Ronda needs to be in there with somebody that can carry Ronda. And Ronda can't really carry a match. I don't know if Shotzi can. I do recall them having a match not too long ago. Maybe I'm making that up. But I seem to remember it being a shit match at the time. So maybe I'm wrong. You guys can fact check me on that one. But I don't know. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I mean, we'll see what they do with it, how they try and build it up. I mean, babyface Shotzi kind of fighting from under against Sonya, against I think part of the story is she should have pinned Sonya. But anyway, that's just me. Bray versus LA Knight, take my money every day and twice on Sunday. Mike Clayton, I like the booking from a sheer let's get in the ring. They're going to give us a good match. I'm convinced. I'm just a little surprised. I really am. So I don't know how he pull it all together. Why did he, have really an issue with LA Knight? But here we go. And as I said, I think the fans are going to cheer for Bray no matter what he does. So if you're automatically going to get that cheer and you're aware of it, then LA Knight comes back. He's a mean heel right now. I'm a big LA Knight fan. I really am. So yeah, let's go. Let's do it. I'm all for the matchup, and I really don't care. I mean, we'll see. I kind of feel like this will be some type of, this isn't the answer to, who Uncle Howdy is and, what else is at play here. But at least it gives us something. It wasn't just a little, quickie promo from Bray again where we're like, okay, where's this going? At least we got something. He headbutted a man in the face. So I'm all for it. So who would be the mother? Pardon? LA Knight feels like if Austin Rock had a kid. Oh, all right. There you go. So who would be the mother in that situation? I'll let y'all figure that out. Doesn't matter who wins. My girl Ronda eats them alive. I agree with you, Edward. Regardless of how I feel about Ronda, this is a sacrificial lamb until bigger and better things come along. No offense, Shotzi. Just the way it is. Raquel needs a win. Yeah, a lot of people thought Raquel was going to take it, but no. But yes, I get what you're saying. Yeah, okay. It's great. Yes, completely agree with that. Raquel for the win. Liv. Oh, no, Liv didn't win. What's up, Smile Mark? How you doing tonight? Welcome back, Uncle Howdy. So, yeah, we got a glitching screen. If you missed it, Bray Wyatt steps up and interrupts backstage with LA Knight, and it looks like Bray Wyatt's first opponent or victim or, I don't know, rival is going to be LA Knight. Ronnie Hood picks Lacey, highly unlikely, and it wasn't likely. I don't know what we're going to do with Lacey Evans at this point. You mean Rick O'Shea ain't Irish? Right? All this time, Larry. I feel deceived. 45 plus 35 equals 205 times the projected times of the Usos win over the year. Scott Steiner mathematics. Well, thank you, Canadian Spaceman, for that mathematical update. I actually like Xia Li. I like Xia Li, DeMarcus. They just have to figure out something to do with her. They got to give her some importance, some purpose, some matter. Right now, she doesn't she doesn't do a lot. Like, she hasn't had a whole lot of a shine. But give her time. Keep putting her in matches like this where, she doesn't have to win. Oh, look. Emma talking to Shotzi. Emma asking about Madcap. How do you guys feel about that? And we know why. We know why. I think Bray is recruiting LA Knight. Oh, interesting. With a headbutt? Chris, with a headbutt. Oh, Shayna shows up to be a bully. So, yeah. Let's talk about Emma looking for Madcap Moss. I wonder if she calls him Madcap. Dun, dun, dun. Where's Sammy? I don't know. Maybe Sammy has the night off. I don't know what to tell you. I haven't seen him yet. That was a supreme botch. Absolutely. And literally, there was just this long pause where the three ladies on the outside were down. The table never got broken. And then the other ladies were nowhere to be found. And then we just got, oh. See, this is good. I like this. All right. So, Ronda shows up. And Shotzi gets choked out by Shayna Baszler. Ronda telling her to shush and go to sleep. Listen, I've been a big critic of Ronda Rousey, but this works. This is good. This is where she's a believable heel and champ, where she has muscle around her. Yeah. But yeah, what a weird end to that match, Jay. Welcome back to the stream, by the way. Thank you for being here. Rick O'Shea is in the back. On Rampage, they're going to add a steel cage match between Jungle Boy and Christian Cage for Full Gear. Damien, you're not allowed to do that, man. 2-1. Yeah, right? Ricochet versus Mustafa Ali, folks. How you feel about that matchup? Where's Sammy? We're going to get Sammy. Oh, Gunther.
Just to clarify real quick, what exactly do you mean? What's yours? Did you give enough last time? I want you to fight with all your heart. Because I would love.
So Gunther talking shit to Ricochet. I mean, this is, for Ricochet fans, this might be a bit of a good sign where, if Gunther's giving Ricochet shit about you getting another chance, I'll just beat you down again. Maybe that's a bit of foreboding for the future here, folks. Amen. You took the words out of my mouth. Shotzi can't carry Ronda, and Ronda needs carrying. I completely agree, JV. That's why I said it. Now we're getting a replay between Braun Strowman and Omos. I don't know why we need a replay of this. Well, I don't know how replay worthy it is, but here we are. Anyone expecting Ric Flair to interfere in Jeff Jarrett's? Man, I would die. Smile, Mark. If that happens, start writing the obituary. Not for Flair. No wee woo for Flair on this one. It would be, yes, Nick, smile for me, bud. It would be total wee woo for possibly AEW at that point. If we get an angle involving Ric Flair and Jeff Jarrett, just wee woo the company away. Shotzi winning is the botch. There you go. That's rude. Finally, Shotzi getting a push. So two completely different opinions. Larry thinks it's a botch. Chris is happy about it. Up next, Braun the Strowman. I think Bray is recruiting LA Knight. That's an interesting shout. Well, like he just beats him into submission. Join me. I think Bray should recruit Shotzi instead of Liv. A little more of a gothy chick is what you're saying? Is that what the premise on that one is? I don't even know that he's recruiting Liv. We have no idea what's going on with any of this shit. I think there's a return tonight on SmackDown, KJ or Nick. It's possible, Damien. But you give me a spoiler again, I'll put you on timeout. Shotzi spent a lot of time in the indie scene. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Shotzi's good. It's taking a while to kind of like I know she's not the best with the microphone. She doesn't really get over with me. So, damn, Alexander. I'll get to you in a second. Well, Ronda already beat Shotzi. Yeah, I mean, smooshed Shotzi. So, we'll see where that goes. Noema calls Madcap Daddy Madcap. Good shout, Alexander. Interesting. They're going to go public with this. I really do think we could call, Riddick Moss would be, go back to that if you want. I don't give a shit what you do. Let's stop calling him Madcap. You got his girlfriend being like, have you seen Madcap? It's weird. It's weird. Earlier I asked Nick about Sami. Sounds like he has family issues. Okay. I did not know that. They should add Sonya to this title, to this little group of Shayna and Ronda. I completely agree with that, JV. And I'm still on commercial for those who don't know. And if you're just tuning in, folks, this is our live reaction, live watch along, live watch party. Call it what you want, but it's going to be entertaining. Myself and Big Nick are running you guys through not only SmackDown, but we will be running through AEW Rampage coming up. And then tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be here for the Saturday mega show. 4 pay-per-views total, but we're going to be paying attention to 3 in particular. But if you're a fan of GCW, if you're a fan of Wrestling Revolver, if you're a fan of NWA, this is the place to be tomorrow. We are the alternative commentary you can't get anywhere else. We'll keep you up to date. We'll keep it live. We'll keep it entertaining. And it's a whole lot of fun. And the Saturday streams, there's always something a little special about a Saturday night stream here at the Wrestling for Life Network. So like, subscribe, click that little bell. Know when we're going to pop up. We got original content coming your way. If you haven't seen our interview from last night and Let's Rumble, our weekly podcast, go check that interview out with Manny Aries. An outstanding interview. Great guy. We've had a lot of fun with it. I learned what a nut fluffer nutter, peanut butter. I had no idea what a fluffer nutter was. Is that right? Nutter fluffer? Fluff. I don't know what the fuck it is. But we had fun with that as well. So go check that out. Great interview. Big shout out to all the folks over at Atlantic Pro Wrestling as well. So, folks, like, subscribe, join the family, like I always say. And where was I going with that? Yes, Shayna Baszler. Sonya should definitely join this group. I think it's a perfect fit. I like it. Let's go. Let's build some factions. Let's do it. I'm trying to recall if Shotzi and Tennille Emma ever worked the same match in the Indies, like Shimmer. Oh, interesting. I don't know the answer to that, Canadian Spaceman. Not going to lie. Now we're getting a little bit of a replay of McIntyre and Karrion Kross from Crown Jewel. Ali should be third in line of a 5-person faction. Okay, that's very specific, Larry. I don't mind where you're going with that. I predict Braun wins his match later against whoever he faces. Yeah, I would imagine he will, unless there's something afoot. Braun is Braun. Braun should be we rarely should see Braun Strowman lose. This is the way it is. It wasn't a spoiler. It was was there as a segment between Young Boy and Christian Cage tonight on Rampage. All right. Seem very specific. Alex, I agree. Jey Uso is going to get kicked out of the family. I don't know. Terrence, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Not a bad shout. I mean, it could happen as they continue to build this. By the way, Jinder Mahal has a microphone for the first time in years. Okay. I like Jinder. I know people bag on Jinder, man, but he's a big, jacked up dude that he gives a wicked heel promo, and he gets under the skin of the fans. I think he's great as a heel, as a dick. I thought his title run was shorter than it should have been. To be honest, I felt bad for him, but he's fucked. He's officially fucked, folks, because the Strowman Express is on his way to the ring. Bye-bye, Jinder. You are about to do a job. Never mind everything I said about Jinder. Wait. Fluffer Nutter. Pause. He's a nut fluffer. Pause, 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 pause. He's a nut fluffer. Hey, what happened to the wacky waving inflatable tube, man? I think that's the first time in my life I've ever said that accordingly, and thank you for putting it together for me, JV. Tube, man, we don't know what we did with Shaky. All right, Jinder jumps him. But we look at Braun Strowman, the monster among men. But look at the size of Jinder in comparison to Braun. It's not that far off. You know, Jinder taking on a baby face Bobby Lashley. Works for me. He's a big dude. I like Jinder too, but Braun for the win. yeah, no kidding. We'll go with that, guys. Braun for the win. Thank you, A-Dog. Woof. Jinder Mahal should get more TV time in WWE. I like it, Damien. Brawny the Strowman about to get. Oh, he's down. Nick pops on. He's down.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, he's down. Pin him. Yeah, do it.
I can't predict that. I can't predict when he's going to hit the button, folks. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. But no, Jinder works good as a mid-card heel. World title? No, thank you.
Why not, though? He's a big dick.
Whitey Magoo.
What?
Yeah.
I think there's no reason
got more back me than he does fucking TV time.
Really? We're gonna punish him for back?
No, I understand that, but it's still. I mean, Christ, you look at Braun. But no, he works good as a mid-card heel. I don't see him. I don't think you could get enough behind him to make him to main event push it.
I don't know, man. Especially in the US of A. I mean, he works as we haven't seen him in months. All he had to do was grab a microphone, and the fans are like, "This guy sucks. Fuck him."
So you would put him in the same caliber as Roman Reigns?
Not the same caliber, but as a challenger, absolutely. He's a more believable challenger than a good handful of, well, not anymore. Goodbye. Bye.
Right.
Bye, Felicia.
Jinder, we hardly knew ye. Thanks for coming. Thanks for playing.
Anything I think on Jinder Mahal is completely irrelevant.
Null and void at this point, as Brawny the Strowman picks up the 1, 2, 3.
Right. No, I just think Jinder has the opportunity to be a really big heel, and if you put him in the angles, like when he did win the belt, I remember sitting there and just like staring at the TV of like, the fuck did I just watch?
Right.
What just happened in my life? But I hated it so much it worked because I was supposed to fucking hate it. And that's where it's supposed to be of like, man, anybody beat this guy. Somebody beat this guy and he just kept winning. And I thought his entrance was cool with the red carpet and I thought it was all good, man.
Listen, the movie The Room with Tommy Wiseau is a terrible movie, but it's so bad it's good. I feel like that's kind of Jinder with being the title reign of everything, of just because, you know, it's so bad it's good doesn't make it good. It's not winning any Oscars anytime. It wasn't that good. I agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah, that one's going to be a stalemate. But and they listen, they're not doing me any favors by having the fucking Punjabi bamboo match or whatever the fuck it was.
The last time we saw Jinder was with Shaky Shanky. So
yeah, I ignore that.
Where the fuck did he play off to?
Fucking hell.
Him and Commander Aziz are off, you know, playing hopscotch somewhere together.
Fucking hell. Braun or Wardlow?
Oh, that's not a.
I'm a Wardlow fan.
One works for a Banana Nose Circus, apparently. And the other just had Samoa Joe heel turn on him. So
right.
comes you could get more out of Wardlow 100%. If Wardlow was in WWE right now, I think he would absolutely, he's in that same conversation, honestly, with Bobby Lashley, with Brock, even maybe pushing that one, but at least with Bobby Lashley, with Braun, 100%. He's a good, beefy, big, man slapping meat in the mid card. What? Pause. But Braun, I feel like you can only go so far with him. We saw when they tried to put him towards the main event. And again, like what I was saying with Jinder, of sometimes you just know a guy isn't going to work out in that spot. And I feel like that's kind of the case with Braun. No woman can beat Jade Cargill. That's why Nyla Rose to do. No, not going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole. Wow, copy Wardlow much? Yeah, 100%. I think that's even a little bit why Jeff Jarrett took the shot at Braun Strowman. In the future, I want to see Wardlow versus Braun Strowman. That match would be amazing. Well, at this point, since we seem to just be adding, ideas for original content and all of that, maybe we'll end up doing a WWE versus AEW show, since we've already had, Escobar versus Andrade thrown out. So now we can add Wardlow versus Braun Strowman to that table. Vaughn, I'd pick Jinder for that match. What match are we talking about? Shaky is out at the disco. That's not a bad shout. He might be there, honestly. Still just cutting the rug. Man's, man can move. Get rid of Elias. Nobody wants to walk with Elias. What? Why are we talking about Elias right now? Which, by the way, that I feel like they've kind of fumbly-bumbly a little bit with his return now. Of, you thought it was going to be something, and now he's, no offense to Otis or the Alpha Academy or anything like that. But to have Elias lose clean pretty easily to them, it doesn't work good for somebody that's just coming back. Shanky is cosplaying as Disco Stu. Followed by Disco Stu. Yes, Disco Stu has the moves. 100%. Now that you said that, Christ, just at this point, just let Shanky go to NXT as Disco Shanky, for fuck's sake. Fine. We've already got the Super Diva. Just, if you're going to go full ham, go full ham. Does Nyla Rose have any shot versus Jade Cargill at Full Gear for the TBS Women's Championship? The short answer is no. The long answer is no, because I feel like they're building up long-term for Jade Cargill 100%. I almost feel like, honestly, at this point, that they've made that title almost more important than the world title. But I feel like they're starting to book themselves into a corner with that title of how do they end that? They've started down a great hill, but they didn't have the end game planned out. And I'm getting right now a replay through Crown Jewel, which I still think is bullshit that Bianca beat Bailey. But boy, did Logan Paul put on a hell of a show. That man, I'll say this, I could see 2023 Logan Paul holding a title in WWE. And I know I've been a big detractor of him on here, everywhere, anywhere, because of all the antics and all that. But when it comes to professional wrestling, that man can go. But so right now I've got Selena in the ring. So we're at 9:40 in the show right now, and we're gonna get B-Fab versus Zelina Vega. Respectfully, this match should not be in this time slot right now, I feel. Yes, but Zelina Vega versus B-Fab, who you got? It's going to be an interesting one for sure. Again, like what I think KJ's even said, of now with under the Papa Paul era, they very much, play a little bit closer to the chest. Who's going to be on SmackDown, how SmackDown's going to get laid out. Vega needs to go back to dark hair. Yeah, a little bit. I don't want to critique too much on the ladies, but yeah. And still, Jay, I was going to say, well, then, and still, your longest reigning, your undisputed, undefeated, wrestling YouTube channel when it comes to anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling is the Wrestling for Life Network, folks. Raw was horrendous. No excuses for that ending. Touche.
Oh, shit!
What?
Oh, shit. Sorry to jump in, but the ladies are waiting for a match, but we have a return, folks.
Right.
Yes.
The Viking Raiders are here. This is the best thing that they've done with Sarah Logan, Sarah Rowe this whole time.
She looks like fucking Max.
What?
It looks like Max.
Oh, Max the Impaler. Yeah, a little. Well, I mean,
a lot of it.
Yeah, monkey see, monkey do.
Wait until I see her face. I'm like torn here. It's not Sarah. It's Max the Impaler. What?
Right? Oh, everybody's getting laid out right now. So, like you said though earlier, you kind of might have called it of the Viking Raiders, the Hot Topic Raiders, as I've called them, might be kind of the next in line for getting that real big push. I mean, they remind me of Rowan and Harper.
Oh. Look at this.
Top dollar getting laid out right now.
Those men battled Big AJ up there. Get.
We gonna get you up, big boy. Oh, and just planted him with a double power bomb. Yeah, she does 100%. It's literally same face paint, same everything. Well, I mean, they've already borrowed Razor Wing for Axiom. So
I don't know, dude.
Get a little grabby.
If I was a Max the Impaler sitting at home right now, I'd be like, wait the fuck a minute.
Someone get my lawyer on the phone.
Right? Where's Stephen P. New?
Right. Yeah, 100%. But this is
they give him a whole new kind of vibe on the entrance.
This is the best that they've done with the Viking Raiders and with Sarah Logan on the main roster. I will say that.
This is dope. I'm down. Cool.
I will retract my previous statement of calling them the Hot Topic Raiders.
No, I mean, you had a point, and they kept losing, so it was kind of Hot Topic all around. But there we go. Some love from Larry. Where is my buddy here? We got a new buddy. I don't want to click on something. Where? No, I don't know where it went. It doesn't matter. Oh,
who are you looking for? Give me an
What the fuck is this group? Well, this is I mean, how do you feel about the Viking vibe now?
Like I said, I'm here for it. It's interesting. It gets them over. It's what they should have been, what they were in NXT, and what they should have been on the main roster without the Viking experience, without all of the turkey legs and the cinematic matches with the Street Profits and what have you.
That's interesting to me, man. It really is interesting. I'm happy for it. I like the new vibe. I was really disappointed to watch them get their ass kicked over and over and over.
They took 2 moves before a match and then couldn't compete in the match?
The worst was Saudi. They took punches and kicks.
Right.
What you assume they would absorb and feel during a match anyway. They were going to the ring knowing they were going to get punched and kicked. But because it happened in the aisle before the match started, they couldn't compete. These are badass Vikings. You have to rip their heart out to get them to stop. Nope, couple kicks, couple punches, down and out. Let's go back. They flew them all the way to Saudi to job them out like that. Fuck.
Oh, well, and I'll say this. How mad are you if you're Ruby Riott right now, sitting in probably Dark's Catering, with a broken nose, seeing Liv get a push in WWE, you're seeing Sarah Logan, get a good big return and everything.
Mm-hmm. Big moment for Sarah.
Right. And she was very much the outlier, the kind of the reach, maybe she'll make it out of the group, I feel. And now Ruby's stuck sitting in AEW with nothing to do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, really. But that doesn't, it doesn't eliminate the fact that maybe at some point she does return because people feel like she deserved better.
Oh, yeah. But I still love the theme song. Just keep the theme song and keep Taz jamming out to the theme song.
Yeah, no, I mean, the theme song's great. It'd be too bad if they couldn't keep it or refuse to keep it.
Right, but no, I'm saying, have you seen that to where Taz jams out to Destiny?
Oh, yeah, no, Taz is hilarious.
Give me Taz and Booker T on fucking NXT, please.
Not bad. Not bad. I think that'd be fun as hell.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Listen, I'm sorry, and I don't want to take this in a completely unrelated direction, but kind of tying into that, they really do have to have an internal meeting about their Monday night team.
They have to have an internal meeting about Monday Night Raw, period, as we've got Roman Reigns and the Bloodline coming out right now, folks. But they 100% with no world title, with 3 hours, with whatever the fuck they feel like they're doing over there that they think's working, it isn't. That they need to, it either needs to be shortened, they need to really adjust how they're booking the U.S. title, what have you. There needs to be a come to Jesus meeting with the Raw team, I feel. People say we bag on AEW. This is when Monday and Papa Paul kind of takes it on the shins here.
Ooh. Free Ruby. Free Ruby.
All right.
Now, Roman's in the ring. What do you? Any predictions on this main event tonight? This final segment.
The special moment. Is he gonna hint towards hanging it up?
Maybe. Is that how he goes out?
Well, no. I wonder if he maybe starts teasing that, and then that's when, because he goes back to the I've beaten everybody. I saw Heyman even put out a little cartoon drawing of to where it showed, heads mounted on the wall of everybody that Roman's beat on this, pathway as champion. And even the little cartoon Roman saying to Paul, we're going to need a bigger wall.
Right.
So what if we go back to that? I've beaten everybody. There's nobody left. You even brought a YouTuber out and I smashed him. There's nothing left for me to do. And then he kind of fucks off for a little while, and he maybe he oversees of he goes full Thanos of he's out on the farm, just resting, relaxing, maxing all cool out by the school, shooting some beat ball outside the school.
A couple of guys were up to no good.
Right.
We're gonna get copyrighted. Shut up.
And then that's when you get somebody like The Rock to come back and kind of rattle the cage. And really, you think you've beaten everybody? Well, if you want to be true, how does it maybe we go that route? It's what do you think? I guess is the better question.
Well, just quickly, I will touch on the fact that Sami, it was announced that he is not there tonight due to personal reasons. So T's and P's and thoughts,
right?
T's and P's and thoughts, but hopefully everything's okay in Sami's world. But the Bloodline is coming out. We are getting that special announcement. I honestly don't know. This is the interesting time for me because we've all kind of surmised this is all heading towards WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. This is all heading towards The Rock. So anybody that does come in is just kind of being fed. And you're just looking down the roster, you're like, who could, would another, Drew come out at this time? Is it Drew? Then Karrion says, wait a minute. No, I don't think so. Who? It's an interesting dynamic because he's holding both those belts, but we're just trying to get to the next story, right? We're just trying to get to that next angle because eventually we're working towards Mania, and that's where I'm stuck on it.
Yeah, it's where do we go now? Because we know the end game, we don't know the in-between chapters. We know we saw the beginning. Yeah. We know at least the end or the next big chapter. We don't know the in-between parts of the story.
Sami getting kicked out. I don't know about that. Not yet.
Too soon. That wouldn't be Usi. That's not Usi at all.
The Rock is building rumors, report said. Oh, like, do you mean poking at the whole storyline?
Well, I think he's kind of been doing that here and there on Twitter or what have
And,
you. But that's what you need to do is you need to start play those seeds, and so then a month or two from now, when those seeds come to fruition, you get a much better storyline.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you're trying to build that angle up, Nick, and you want it to go somewhere. I will take a second to remind everybody we are in a commercial, might be our last commercial of the night, I hope. Roman and the Bloodline are in the ring, sans Sami. But with that being said, don't forget at the top of the hour, we're going to do a quick flip and we will be here for AEW Rampage and we will talk some AEW wrestling politics, lawsuit potentials, MMA announcers, all types of fun stuff for AEW Rampage tonight to discuss. So don't go anywhere and don't forget tomorrow night, 7 p.m., the mega show, the mega stream, the mega party. You know, these two knuckleheads are going to be back at it again. And a quick big shout out to CJ and Ashley Rose out there tonight. What do you think of Nick?
Oh no, I'm excited for tonight and everything. We've still got 2 qualifying matches for the title eliminator coming up on Rampage as well. We don't know what the announcement is going to be from Roman. We're getting ads for Ricochet versus Ali, Sami versus Butch next week. We're getting Shotzi versus Shayna next week. And tomorrow night, like you said, we're going to be here for not only NWA, what? GCW, what? Wrestling Revolver, what? We were even talking, tempting, teasing, tickling, pause, with the idea of doing XPW and everything like that too. It's literally no other channel out there is giving you this much wrestling content back to back, layered upon layered of, you tune in to one stream, what? With 2 hosts, what? You get 3 shows, what? It's going to be a 5-star night, 100%, folks. What? You're doing a lot of this, not a lot of this.
See, I pause to be a nice guy, and then I forget because, vitamins are good, folks. But
Right.
yes, folks, we greatly appreciate everyone being here. As our buddy here from Maltese, 99 likes. I didn't even realize that because I actually just have the playback going, so I can't see the numbers. And thank you for 99. I mean, if we hit one more, come on. Somebody's going to have a friend out there that can click that thumb. If you're in a house, a group, a party, a Discord, get that one last thumb in. But we appreciate 99. We appreciate all the support, all the love, and we are thrilled to be rolling as we are just shy of 1K here on the channel.
I was going to say I got 99 likes, but a sub ain't one. So absolutely, be a friend, tell a friend, and help us get over that last little nudge. Help us get to the first kind of line on the goal line here of hitting that 1K subscribers. And I mean, being that you're Canadian, do you really want to walk away from the Gretzky number there and everything at 99?
Listen, I'm all right with a Gretzky. I'll take a Gretzky any night of the week. I mean, the triple digit's nice, but listen, I appreciate one thumb. Never mind.
Oh, I was going to say, I was going to tie it in and say, folks, we are the Wayne Gretzky when it comes to wrestling coverage and everything like that. Can do it all, whether we are assisting, passing, scoring, hot, skating, defending, hot. But we've got Paul Heyman right now, just pumping all of the gas on Roman and the Bloodline.
Oh, shit. I completely agree. So thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. We are in Paul Heyman is just laying some gospel down right now, laying it on thick, letting the New Day know that basically they're not even in the Usos class, Nick.
Well, do we get, I know we talked about it earlier, do we get maybe the Big E return and we get a Roman Big E match? Do we get a Imperium gets involved and we get, Gunther versus Roman? It's more of, I feel like this is more of what's next for Roman at this point.
Right. CM Punk should retire. Hey, if the WWE wants the filth, they can take that trash. He's toxic. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll get back to that. Jay.
Right. Give us a couple minutes and when we're covering that show, we'll fully talk about it.
Right. Start me up.
All right. Don't start me up. Oh, I was instantly about to go, pleased to meet you. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Roman said, I never thought this moment would come.
Oh.
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 What?
Interesting. War games
in the Rudy Blue Hell.
Nick, you might be partly right, but what if it's like because Sheamus is in the neighborhood?
Well,
Wink,
I
wink,
heard
nudge, nudge.
percolation, speculations, and everything, accusations that Sheamus is going to be coming back here soon. So maybe we get a Sheamus Roman feud and we get the Brutes versus the Usos. I mean,
you'd be 2 out of 3 on that one, and that ain't bad.
Right.
He's back.
Hate to say I told you so.
I kind of like this rub. But now, if it's War Games, does he go to his old buddy Drew McIntyre and say, I need a pal. I need you, buddy. We need another Brute.
Oh, but the mic fucked up. There we go.
Son of a bitch.
But, or maybe it's on three-way dance. Then we get Walter and Imperium.
Look at Rage taking the shoot, taking the time to pop at him. You know, that
right.
Oh shit, his mic's not gonna work. I'm gonna make a joke about it. 1 second.
But that to me is again what reminds you of Rock. Roman now has that Rock presence about him now. He's elevated to that, Super Saiyan God mode, son.
Right.
At this point.
Right.
He can just sit back and fuck off and be fine.
So you might, again, the theory of, the Brutes against the Bloodline, where there's a possibility. Now you thought, oh, look what I called.
Oh.
And the survey says Scottish psychopath for 100. Yes.
Oh, Drew, you've been around the title picture enough. Fuck off.
No, but now you'll just be peripheral.
Is he second fiddle to Sheamus, or
is
he using Sheamus as a launching point? Because I was about to say, I like that we're getting Solo and Drew squaring up. Give me that.
That's what I mean. That would be your peripheral, your big beast, right? So you got the tag teams. Drew goes toe to toe. More look, it's Sheamus and Drew, not Sheamus and Roman, not Drew and Roman. I like this.
Right. I it's not a bad show. Like I can make an addendum to what I predicted and everything. Like you said, I got 2/3.
Where's the announcement? Where's the announcement? See, this is where they should take old footage and put Regal right up on the fucking Titantron and War Games and take them right back off. That's what I think they should do.
No, hey, listen, I already like it enough that they've, they're using War Pigs from Black Sabbath and everything.
It's pretty stellar, isn't it?
Oh,
but with
100%.
that being said, folks, as you can see, we're about to flip this stream. Remember, we take a rating at the end of every single show. So out of 10, what did you think SmackDown delivered tonight? But don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a couple seconds. Lots to talk about. Of course, CM Punk's going to be a hot topic, and we will discuss it all on Rampage. Stay right there. And we are back at it again. This is what we do. How you doing, Big Nick?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. It's a feel-good Friday night, and we're into the second half, or I guess the second part, not really half. We've already hit the halfway point. Right. But the second part of our doubleheader Friday, and it's been a good night. I mean, SmackDown was not bad. Some surprises, some pops, some good matches. I don't know. My socks are still on. They didn't blow those off, but they not a bad night of wrestling.
Oh, no, not at all. 100%. I mean, it was fully, a fantastic show and everything. I know the ending, was a little, some people might think, because we got so much, but if I'm going to be wrong, and I was 2/3 of the way there of the Brawling Brutes versus the Bloodline, then I'll take it 100%. And I do like your shout with Drew. Figures one Scottish man can pick out another Scottish man.
Right. I think one of them's Irish, but it's okay.
Well, no, I'm you.
Oh, me. Oh, shit. All right. I'll follow along. I promise.
Right. You'll try to get there.
But yeah, no, I think Drew makes sense. Now, do they add one more person each, or do we got another surprise? Because part of me thought that maybe Roman wouldn't be involved, but it looks like he will be.
Oh, yeah. Well, because how do you do because normally it was the SmackDown champion versus the Raw champion. How do you really do that when one person holds both titles?
And you don't need that.
No, but so I could see that. So I think you still, like you said, I think maybe on the Brutes you have to add one more person.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, in the Rudy Blue, how could that be?
It's interesting. It really is. I mean, that's what I like about it. I'm like, where do they go? Like, do they, is there an additional person coming? Because right now, what you got? Well, if you include Sami, there's 5 on one side, right?
Yes. Tyler Bate.
I like that show. Tyler's dope. Let's do it.
Oh, well, you get the connection between him and Butch.
Right.
And what has Tyler Bate been doing since he had his match with Braun Breaker?
Sweet fuck. Oh.
Right. But folks, we do take a rating for all the shows that we watch.
Do you see some of these ratings?
I'm seeing a 20 out of 10 is the first thing that pops out of me.
Wait, I lost.
I got a 20 out of 10. Then followed up right above it, I've got a 5 out of 10 being generous. So again, it comes with what we do and why we try and watch everything objectively, respectfully, accusations about being impartial, everything like that. Of how we see people go from it's a 20 out of 10 to I'm being nice and giving it a 5. Like
a generous 5. It's a big swing, but I mean, everybody's looking for something, different, and not everybody's looking into the show hoping for the same things. And we know that we debate about shit all the time,
right?
I mean, I thought it was a pretty good show. I was pretty content.
Absolutely. But I will just update people real quick right now. I've got Christian Cage and Luchasaurus in the ring right now, and Christian's calling out Jungle Boy, and Christian's got his arm in his sling for some reason.
He's doing the old Cowboy Bob, where the arm's in the fucking cast forever,
for a decade.
3 years going on,
right? With this, the injury just won't heal, folks. But so when you give SmackDown.
See, and one of the gauges of SmackDown is it's always in my head how fast the show went, and tonight went quick. There was no real big high points. Sarah Logan's interesting. I'm really surprised at how much she looked like Max the Impaler.
Oh, that was a really good shot. I didn't notice that until you really pointed out.
From the back, I was like, wait a minute, but it wouldn't have made sense. But I jokingly threw it out there of like, wow, that looks like. I mean, get me a picture of the Impaler and back on, they were identical. I was like, whoa. And then
even especially with the way, like I said, she had the face paint, all of that, 100%. But rating, so number.
Oh shit, I was rambled. I rambled right on. I'll go 7.5.
Not a bad shout because I was dancing between 6 to 7. I was feeling much more towards 7, so I'll go with 7 on that because of the Sarah Logan return, the setup now potentially for War Games, because we had we're getting everything announced for the World Cup and all of that. So I think that it 100% it's a good show, not a great show.
Yeah, like here, Scott Woodford said 7. I mean, the extra 0.5. I liked a couple of the pops. I give him a bonus half mark because Bray Wyatt, made physical contact.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt did a thing, and it didn't involve puppets or prosthetics.
True, right? Even though he was told to take his puppets and put them where they feel good.
Right. Put them where the sun don't shine.
It's clobbering time. Oh, sorry, bud.
No, you're good. I just found this funny. Nick, kind of like Papa Orton's 20-year arm cast. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Absolutely. It's clobbering time. No,
Now
but everyone kind of. Are you surprised that the fans kind of came back with like 8s, 9s, 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 8? Like,
no,
was it a feel
honestly,
good show?
because SmackDown has been the flag bearer. It is the prime #1 A show for, honestly, I'd say professional wrestling at this point. It is the standard bearer when it comes to professional wrestling on TV at this point. It's not always perfect. Don't take me at that of saying it's, 100%. It has no flaws.
Yeah, it's not batting 1,000, and it's not like 10, 10, 10, It's
one of those of more often than not, as far as weekly television goes in professional wrestling, it has more consistent. To quote Sheamus, who we got back tonight, it's banger after banger after banger. Instead of, we like some things.
No Gunther. Yeah, we had a little bit of Gunther, Jay.
Well, give it time.
Yeah, and Ronda and Shayna, that I think you were on break when Ronda and Shayna did their little bit in the back. Right. And it was excellent. Excellent. Like Shayna's choking her out and, Ronda talking shit the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just going back from seeing Ronda at, UFC events and everything, or when she had her whole mixed martial arts career. She's just a natural heel. Sorry, not sorry, but it's hard to cheer for the woman. So just let her be this bitch of a heel.
Right. So right now on Rampage, I got a promo going off between, Christian kind of.
Someone's shoe went flying. Jungle Boy lost his shoe because of a throat chop from Kanosaurus.
Who throws that shoe?
All right, who throws that shoe?
He did. He fucking Matt Riddled his shoe.
He literally. If you've ever played football or anything, and you've heard of the term a decleater, that was a decleater right there. Apparently, a throat chop.
I love Christian's mannerisms. He's very entertaining to watch. He's a vet. He's a pro. He's excellent. I think he would be a wonderful coach, a producer, any day of the week.
Oh, I was going to say, well, he just set up the chair for Jungle Boy to get chokeslammed onto that, just bent damn near flat. But no, some of the best work that Christian did is when he was Christian Cage in Impact. That was when he had the Christian Coalition and all of that. Why?
Sorry, dude. I got the choke slam on the chair, and it's just like the furniture spots don't ever seem to go the way you expect them to on this show.
It's always things that make it go.
Like it looked really painful, which kudos.
Because they don't look like they're gimmicked or anything like that. I'm not saying I know how to spot it
down the back of it.
But yeah. But certain things when they're meant to, they're knowing you're going to get used, they're going to bend a certain way. But now I've got Death Triangle backstage. And
I hate the fact. Sorry,
dissension.
Accusations.
Accusations.
I hate the fact that they have issues between the Death Triangle. We've barely seen them. We haven't got a whole lot of them. We've had them in spurts. Phoenix is hurt. Neville's missing. I mean, I really wish we could get a solid run. The trios titles have been absolutely nothing at all for weeks.
Because they were founded on nothing, because they were only meant to placate certain executive vice presidents within the company.
But Nick, why not put them in over the last 4 or 5 weeks? Why not put them in a series of really great trios matches to show everybody what the trios division means? And this way, when you get to Full Gear and you bring back the Elite and they win them back, you're like, oh, this is awesome. Real cool.
Those moments when like LeBron James will tell people on the court and everything, just clear the fuck out because I'm about to do some impressive shit and everything right now.
Right?
That's about to me being right now. Mamba fucking mentality here of just because they're not going to make them go the fuck over and everything, because that whole spot, that whole moment, everything was meant for the Elite. That's getting the big hole snap Thanos, coming back like fucking Avengers Endgame after being suspended for being fucking pricks because you couldn't take someone saying something negative about you when you're already you're already EVPs in a company you shouldn't fucking have anything to do with backstage. That being said, so they're not going to let anybody else get over as a trios group because that's saved for the elite. That's the whole reason these fucking belts exist. That's the whole reason that there's even a trios goddamn division and all of that.
It's true.
The Death Triangle is just there, just literally to placate. And of course, now we've got to have dissension because guess who's coming back off of a suspension.
But Nick, if I were the Bucks, I would say to Death Triangle, listen, when we come back, we're going to go after these. So can you, kill it. So it means something when we take them back.
But they think they are right now. That's the thing.
Like, it's fun. Like, it blows my mind. Where if you need, like, we talked yesterday on the Rumble and with Manny about, hand ups and helping people out and being there, as a community and as a family. Because when you know that if you can help someone else, it helps you. It benefits you just as much as it benefits them. And that's what the Young Bucks need to realize at times is, know what? Fuck it. We'll have one, maybe two trios matches. I don't give a fuck. But don't highlight this division that we want to be in the lead of. They don't get it. If you shine that division in your absence, then when you go over that division, now we believe you are who you say you are.
Well, prime example of that is FTR. What they've done with FTR, 100%. How they would not go over and give them the strap, and why we've got, now, and it's not a knock on the Acclaimed or Swerve and Glory. It's birthed, and forced the hand of more tag teams popping out. Yeah. But we've noticed, even like I said it on Dynamite, have now noticed we've got an 8-man tag. Every tag team in here seems credible. The Young Bucks aren't involved. They realize now they're down the pecking order. And the only thing I feel, unfortunately, with this, and I know you and I disagree on it, is we've got Brian Cage and Dante Martin right now taking pictures.
Predictions in.
So if you let me know who you're taking for this match, who are you taking?
Cage. I think Cage might win this whole fucking thing.
Yeah, I think you said that.
The New World AEW, buddy. And W.
Can I vote still Eddie Kingston if he just comes out and just somehow still wins?
Right.
Because my man, I understand if there's a way you're going to go out, super Razor's Edge, fuck yeah, that move looked beautiful. No discredit to Ethan Page and everything, but that should have been a semifinals to a finals match. That shouldn't have been an opening round. But I guess for the sake of argumentation, I will take Dante Martin.
Argumentation, yeah. Dante Martin won't win this match. And
I can see him winning it, but then think about it. You get Flippy versus Flippy you get him facing Rouge versus Bandido, unless you're gonna go full.
See, there you go. You nailed it. Actually, now that I think about it, that's not a bad shout of Dante Martin and Bandido in round 2 is just a wet dream for Tony.
Right, but to play devil's advocate, you go full Lucha Underground and you get, say, Bandido versus
Cage?
Brian Cage.
Yeah.
You go full AAA.
Yeah.
But no, I think to me, back to what we were talking about earlier of Kenny Omega, to me still, though, there's a lot of potential of him if he was to break away from that and wasn't hooked on that so much. I think he does. He's not as bad of the delusions of grandeur, I feel. Although I did find it interesting, I don't know if you've seen this, that Will Ospreay now is number 2 on the list for Meltzer 5-star rated matches. So now it's Kenny and Ospreay. Okada's number 3, and I'm still I as much as I rag and bag on Tony's booking and everything, if that happens, whether it be in AEW or New Japan, shut up and take my money.
Yeah, I'd be curious. Again, I just don't don't share that, like, I can't wait for a Kenny Omega match anymore. I don't have that vibe. I feel like I listen, I'll continue to hold my position on Kenny, and I want him to prove me wrong. I want to take him serious. I want him to come out and dig in and be serious and deliver.
Yeah. Well, as we get a 2 count, now ask you this: take him serious in AEW, or did you not even like his matches with Okada or anything?
No, don't get me wrong. The great matches, and even the Bucks had good matches. They had good trios matches in Japan. I'm not saying they've been completely garbage across across the planet and everywhere they've gone, and they don't have any claim to be, proud of their careers. Not at all. I think what ended up rubbing me the wrong way with the Elite was just them telling me that they were the best people that ever did this. That they were, the cream of the crop, and to me, they didn't rank anywhere near that. And then it just became, as a wrestling fan, I think it was just that push of like, you see people start drinking the Kool-Aid and you're like, really, guys? Like, fuck. Best tag team ever? They're not even the best tag team right now.
Ooh, 2 count. 2 count from Dante on a splash. But no, I 100%. I'll say this to piggyback off of your point of, I would say since they've been in AEW, not even in the US, like I still think they did great matches in Ring of Honor, what have you, when New Japan did shows in the US, etc. Since they've been in AEW, under the AEW banner, they have not lived up to the hype that the pedestal they put themselves on.
Yeah, and I think that's where my criticism of them come from. And again, like I said, I've seen enough of their work where they did some really cool, impressive stuff. Absolutely. And I mean, they worked and the fans loved them and they got themselves over globally. I'll give them credit without using the biggest platform possible to do so. So they're not completely inept, and I don't completely disregard them. The whole relationship with Meltzer and being overhyped and overshined, and like you said, I felt like they could have came into AEW and been amazing and showed us how good they really are. But I would push anyone out there to tell me if I'm wrong in the statement that the Elite have underachieved in AEW. And in addition to that, I will include somebody like Adam Cole, as well as what we got out of Red Dragon, who half of it's gone now. I feel like the Elite, that group has underachieved. Doesn't mean they can't fix it, Nick. I just feel like so far the mark is low. The grade is low this year, this semester.
Oh, 100%. As granted, you pick up the right prediction. Brian Cage hits an impressive ass.
Yeah. Goodbye.
For the 1, 2, 3 on Dante Martin. And it's not a bad shout that he could potentially win this all.
It's a decent match.
It was a good match. Okay. And it's still Brian Cage at times. It's interesting because of how much he can move as a big guy.
It is crazy.
Oh, I would love to see him getting into the crossover fantasy booking, him versus like Bobby or something like that would be fantastic. I feel it would either be fantastic or abysmal, one or the other.
Yeah, I don't think there's any middle ground with that booking.
Right.
And it depends if you can get Cage to dial back the lucha stuff just a little bit and have a beefy guy on beefy guy match. That's kind of what you need.
We had just now Hook squaring up with Lee Moriarty. So is that what we're going to get next?
Could you imagine Hook loses the FTW belt to Lee Moriarty?
I swear to God, and I'm changing topics here and everything, but I swear to God, Tony Khan has it out for me and just does not want me to watch his product at this point of like, I'm his target audience. I'm the one that, tuned into the New Japan before all of this, that, knows the ins and outs, what have you.
Right.
And I fucking can't stand half of these matches just based on booking alone.
Nick, this question's for you.
Oh, Jesus H. Christ. I know I've said before I have a conversation with a congregation, but we go into church right now. Yes, Jeff Jarrett did face Sting in WCW. Very much towards the dark days, the black days, the end of days. When it comes to WCW, that's the thing is Jeff Jarrett's known synonymously, regardless of everything that he's done in Memphis wrestling, Middle Tennessee Wrestling, even in his WWE reigns, all of that, everything that he's done good in his career, he's still constantly known for the death of WCW, holding Vince McMahon up for money, and the damn near crippling, at least, of Impact TNA Wrestling to where it was 1 point Global Force Wrestling. Also, don't forget Jarrett Cash for Gold, by the way. But yeah, they very much have wrestled before, and that's why
they've met.
Jeff Jarrett showing up in AEW to me feels like one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse showing up.
In come Russo.
Thank you.
I'm just saying, based on historical data. No offense. Nothing personal.
Next is Eric Bischoff, and the last fucking nail in the coffin is
Kevin Nash.
Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan.
Oh, Terry Bollea, shit. I thought Nash was in there as the final.
No, he's going to show up because remember, BG, Road Dogg's a better wrestler than Bret Hart.
What did he say? He's a better sports
He was a better sports entertainer.
I don't even, do we really need to address that? I mean, it's not even the same thing.
That gets into the difference between sports entertainers and professional wrestling.
What I guess when sometimes where like the the front man and the lead guitarist are like the badasses of a rock group, and we don't quite know who the other people are in the group. And I'm not saying he's that far gone from it, but I don't think he realizes he was a supporting cast member in the whole situation where, I mean, you're comparing yourself to a main eventer, and I would argue that it's not a fair comparable at this point.
But still, you cannot deny, though, that at the end of the day, as much as the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, you still also, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life proudly brings to you its podcast champions of the world, the Mr. Every Night Delight, KJ White, the Master of Mayhem, Big Nick.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not discrediting him.
Know that whole thing.
Yeah, I don't discredit him, Nick. I just wish it's like an unnecessary statement because it's like apples and oranges.
It's delusional as fuck. Don't get me wrong. It's delusional as fuck. I just fully set that up just for the fucking promo there.
Right.
It's so out of touch. Billy Gunn is over right now more than you probably were. Well, I don't want to say in your heyday. But look at longevity even. Billy Gunn's outshined you, Road Dogg. So maybe realize your spot on the pecking order.
Well, but I mean, it's just an unnecessary comparable. Can't he just, this is what it is. And I guess his point was, I was an entertainer and I made I was more beneficial to the company, but come on now. I'm pretty sure
that's Sinatra versus fucking Bozo the Clown. What do you fucking do?
That's insane.
Listen,
I just thought it was funny because I thought you were opposing my point and then you completely supported it and then went the extra mile.
Right. No, it's
look.
Whoa.
Sarah Logan's back. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
We're
getting another dark House of Black. Great Christ.
Right.
House of Black vignette right now.
Tony has to right this ship. Tony has to make this one right, Nick. Do it proper.
There's a lot he has to do right.
No, but he needs this one. A lot of people thought these guys were on the way out the fucking door. And maybe, you know what? Maybe that was the conversation. Tony, we're fucking done. We're done unless you got a plan. And maybe they got a plan. It's compelling as shit, the last couple vignettes.
Malachi Black on AEW's Undertaker.
Yes. Amen. Why not?
100%.
Right? The modern Undertaker.
I'm here for it, honestly. This is all fucking good, though. That's the thing. It's okay. That CG was a little terrible, but it's all good. It's just terrible execution. The build up, it's like being on Christmas Day and you see a beautiful, wonderful wrap present and everything, and you go and open it up, and it's a fucking turn the box.
This is fucking excellent. They even got a badass symbol. I'm down, man. It's excellent. Now do it right when you book it. Book it right. Give them something that matters. Give us something we can follow. Try a long-term story. Just
right. Get you a Kevin Feige. Get you a what's his name there from WWE. That's the director of long-term storytelling. Why we're getting the long drawn-out situation with Bray. Get you somebody that can plan out a storyline longer than a week, Tony. And it's not just Wrestler Crush Wednesdays with Dynamite.
I feel like AEW is getting to feel a lot like TNA, more so TNA than WCW. All right, okay. I like the compare, and I get where you're going with that because it just feels a little more chaotic. Like WCW went from like good to just not good. It soured. It was ego. Where I think
so the issue is that it just never had a good moment. It just went right to sour.
It just fucking went downhill. But I think for me, with the comparable to TNA was like TNA was kind of in the same mindset of like, we're doing something really good. They were very, like they really thought they were going to pull it off, but they were just delivering complete garbage. But internally they were like, okay, we're doing good, right? And they weren't.
Right. Well, wasn't Impact TNA pretty much just the initial offspring of the end days of WCW? And
absolutely, right.
Right, but it is interesting. I've seen the meme going around, and I know I've shut it out and everything of how now AEW has its own little Impact 2000 or TNA 2007 faction.
Right.
But we're off to a hell of a start with Roosh and Bandido right now.
Yeah, so we got Roosh Bandido in the ring, folks. Let us know what your prediction is on this match. Got about a half an hour left in stream tonight, depending on how we feel. But, folks, Bandido, Roosh, I almost called it the World Cup, but it's the
the Atlantic, the All Atlantic tournament. Wait, that's not it. It's the World Cup. Wait, no, that's not it. What? It's
the King of the Ring. No,
it's the King of the Ring. What? It's the Queen of the Ring. What? It's the Grand Prix. What? No. Oh, DQ. God damn it.
Right, every week he does this. Every time Roosh wrestles, it's one of his. But
that should be a goddamn DQ if
it's
we're
in his
following the bylaws and bylaws of wrestling.
Okay.
But you make my brain hurt. But I'm taking Bandido for this match then, just based off of that already.
I like Bandido for the win. Bandido versus Nick.
Go get him. God damn it, I'll take Roosh.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I'm gonna just do it to disagree because now when the bells ring, that's how they got around it. If the match hadn't started yet, but I feel like they might be pushing Roosh just a way of seeing, see Andrade, this is what you could have had.
Right,
you could have been in a first round qualifying match with Bandido that you might have lost.
Can I ask a question? And maybe I'm just being a grumpy old Dave. But you have a manager at ringside. Mm-hmm. You have a friend. Why was that person not distracting said referee so that didn't look complete fucking arse?
Because the match hadn't started yet.
I hate that fucking move. I hate it.
Oh, I know, 100%.
You can't do that. You can't cheat right before the match. It doesn't work. You imagine the UFC, the guy comes out and fucking hits him with a chair during the weigh-in and then goes, see you tomorrow. Yeah, okay.
Right. Well, as Roosh hits the Tranquilo spot and everything. But no, it's much like the 2 out of 3 falls match to where I was losing my mind of Sami sitting there with the microphone spot and everything, just laying into Danielson. And it's just, there's the break in between the falls. It's like, no, God damn it, it's supposed to be ding, 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 ding. There we go.
Ding, let's go.
Right.
It's for the Global Force Championship. Wait till that gets reintroduced.
My favorite, one of my favorite moments of TNA Impact is when they went into Global Force and they couldn't seal the deal, so they had to change over the titles and they couldn't. So you had an Impact title with the goddamn sticker on the front of it, but the side plates were still saying Impact.
I fucking knew you were gonna bring up the stickers.
Oh, because it's so great.
It's the best shit, man. Like you went to TV with this, like a group of fucking adults were like, this is gonna work.
With all of your money, Dixie, you had that go out on national TV. No one thought that. No one thought this might look a little cheesy.
Yeah, this might not go well. Like, why would
this might look bad?
At what point do you say, you know what? The champion, fuck it. We don't need either the champion gets the night off or the belt gets the night off. It's not that big of a deal. They know he's the belt holder. He just forgot it in the dressing room.
Bigger botch with a title, that or Nikki Cross not being able to make the fucking trash bin with a 24/7 title.
I think the stickers worse because
we're getting into different topics and everything.
I think the stickers worse, man, just because the Nikki thing. I mean, to me, it was the perfect ending for the 24 title because that was like literally the perfect metaphor of
right.
It wasn't what we thought it was gonna be from day one, and even the finale of it was a fucking blunder and ends up on the floor instead of in the garbage. Couldn't even find its way into the can.
The only way you end it better,
Poetic.
Tope. The only way you end it better is they toss the belt on Truth, and Truth goes out 24/7 title. It goes out fully the way that it came in.
Oh, it still should have done that.
Right, but I do like, and I'll say this while we're in picture and everything with what I'm getting with this match. We've had a corkscrew moonsault from Bandido. We've now got a tope and a tope somersault outside of the ring and everything. Right, but you're getting a lot of. Listen, I've got it picture and everything, and I'm paying attention to what's going on in the ring because it's pulling me away even from the fucking ads and the commercials and everything. And that's what you should get from your wrestlers, knowing even if you're in a commercial break versus instead of, cool, we're going to get a headlock for the next 3 minutes.
That's right. No, I agree with that. And that's not a good look either of like, are they still just fucking in that headlock or is he still like fucking selling that elbow drop? Like, really? Like, what happened? Why have we not bounced out of this? So, yeah, no, I mean, I agree, Nick. So, to your point, now it started with picture in picture, and then I have full commercial right now.
Yeah, well, that's what I have right now. I'm learning about paint. I'm brought to you by Sherwin-Williams, apparently.
I got Old Spice.
But no, like I said, I know that we've bagged on AEW. There is plenty good to still be found in there. It's just it needs a punch up.
I'm here. Welcome back, Mick. How you doing? Listen, there's a lot of talent there. Listen, the biggest thing that we complain about on this stream as far as AEW goes over the last little while is it's the guys that we love and that we're passionate about as fans not doing anything of value or not moving in a direction that we'd like to see. With a couple exceptions, I'm sure like the diehard Moxley fans are like, best show ever. But when you're a fan of Kingston and he just gets murdered, and you're a fan of fucking, a guy like Ricky Starks and you're not getting a whole lot of them, or whoever it is that's underutilized, that's the biggest frustration of the fans right now.
Well, and I go to say this, as I've said that AEW is very much like WCW and everything, and this is a point. I feel like I could be like Chris Jericho with move number 101, armbar. But the fact that you very much can see, like the dying days of WCW, of the people that were cliquey with the boss, you saw this specific kind of group of friends that all started pretty much rising towards the top of the card that got a lot of TV time, while a lot of the more talented guys, a guy like Chris Jericho, of how he ended up in WWE, like the Radicals ended up in WWE because they got misused, mistreated, and wasted because people that couldn't latch on, couldn't let it go, had to still stay at the top.
Right. No, I completely agree, Nick. Like, it's definitely, it's a frustrating thing because you feel like that's what's happening. And at some point it's going to come out one day, sooner than later. The floodgates are going to open. We're going to get all these juicy little details. And then
I'm waiting for the death of AEW book narrated on Audible by Brian Alvarez. Because Christ, if you haven't heard it already, I think it was already, the prequel was out. It's called Death of WCW. If you want to go and check that one out.
Right.
Yeah, prequel.
Who is a better mouthpiece, William Regal or Paul Heyman? I love William Regal, but Paul Heyman's the GOAT. Sorry.
I was about to say, if you didn't say it, I was going to say it. My name is Paul Heyman.
No, he's a gem. He's the absolute stud on that microphone. And there are very few people in his realm. And to me, he goes down as one of the all-time greats. I heard Bully Ray on Busted Open say, I'm so confident with my mic skills. I'd take Paul Heyman down. Oh, hold on, bully. Hold on, bully. Get the tables because
Right.
Bully's a good
Bully.
promo.
You want to say that? How many times did you get, a check that might have been coming off like a rebound from Uncle Paul, and you still were like, "Yep, this is going great." Like I said, this man could sell ice, snow, a fucking penguin to an Eskimo, all of that.
No, he'd sell a ketchup popsicle to a lady in white gloves.
Right. Absolutely. That man,
Oh, sorry, Nick.
No, you're good. But yeah, that man's, got a forked tongue.
Whew. No, listen, Paul Heyman's unbelievable. And listen, Bully's a good promo. I like Bully Ray. I think he's a great promo. I just don't think I think Paul Heyman destroys him. I think he's a monster in that ring.
Oh, but that's not taking away anything from Bully. That's more bigging up Paul, because anybody, you can go through a roster of people that you put them, microphone for microphone with Paul Heyman, right, and he'll eat them alive.
Yeah. I mean, I think I would love to see the day where, Paul Heyman's in the ring doing his business for whoever he's advocating for at that time, and MJF walks out onto that stage and looks him dead in the face, and you're like, oh, shit's about to go down.
No, it'd just be a giant hug. It'd be be what they did with the song and dance number with Jericho and MJF. Just give me that with Paul Heyman and MJF, 100%.
Yeah, that'd be
Tell me that isn't comedy gold, and that wouldn't be a replayable moment, 100%.
No, absolutely, dude. Goodbye, my love. No, we are back at it, folks. We are rolling along. Rush and Bandido. Oh shit! They're pulling at the mask. Jose trying to rip that mask off, and the Dark Order's music comes on. Johnny Hungy on his way down. Not happy with Jose. First time watching. What's up? Dr. Pepper is my dad. There you go. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right, here comes the roll up. 1, 2, 3. Bandido with the W. There you go. I think Nick and I both had Bandido tonight, folks. Not bad. This is going pretty good. What did you say, JV? Okay, there you go. YouTube filters and JV don't get along very well. Please, no Chris Jericho versus Jeff Jarrett match. Ooh, DeMarcus. That gives me uncomfortable chills just thinking about it. But right now I got Jake Hager in his lovely hat. Did you notice they hired Renee Paquette and she pretty much just stands in between people arguing? She doesn't really get that whole interviewee vibe very often. All right. So Jake Hager trying to lure Cesaro away from the Blackpool Combat Club and into the Jericho Appreciation Society. Jeez, anybody see that coming? Wow. All right. Any chance that happens, chat? Don't be shy. Don't be quiet. Let me know out there. What's up, John Moxley? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. The champ is here. It's funny to do that. But no, I don't want to see Jeff Jarrett. How do you guys feel about the idea of a Jeff Jarrett Sting match? I really don't think I want to see an angle involving Jeff Jarrett and Sting in 2022. But here comes Nyla Rose. She's going to have an open champion for the belt that is not hers. Who's in the ring? What else we got here, folks? And like I say, as always, I hope you're having a wonderful Friday night. Whatever you have to do to put a smile on your face, I hope you're doing it, folks. We got about 20 minutes. We'll see how the after show goes tonight on a Friday. But Kayla Sparks is in the ring, about to get murdered by Nyla Rose. And up next, we got Shawty Lee taking on Orange Cassidy. So Orange Cassidy is turning out to be a fighting champion. Larry's back. What did you miss? I don't know when you left. All right, so Nyla making fun of Jade Cargill. Posing. All right. When did Nyla Rose become a comedian? This girl's got jokes. Oh. And she lands Jaded, of course. So she pretty much mimics Jade the entire match. There you go. We didn't even have a chance to get predictions on that one, folks. Just in and out. Heyman taught Regal some tricks. Heyman is better. He talked his wrestlers into punching each other. Oh, wait, here come the baddies. Here comes Jade. Throwing the elbows. Nyla fighting back. Bump kick. Nyla down and out. And does Jade get her belt back? Right. Remember, this is the matchup we're getting at Full Gear. Jade and Nyla. What up, John? How you doing, sir? How is the Wild Thing doing tonight? You're gonna punch your brother Axel. He taped fist covered in glass. Oh, okay. Anything you say, Uncle Paul. Listen, he's an evil genius, but he's a genius nonetheless. And again, when you hand him that microphone, it's gold. All right. So security breaks that up, folks, and we head back into a commercial. And now we're getting all the fun commercials for the Christmas season, including National Lampoons. Still classic. Anyway, where are we going with this? KJ, who won the last time Sting and Double J wrestled? It was I think it was Sting, was it not? You're testing my brain. Everyone get their Googlers out. I think it was Sting. I think it was Sting that won the last time. But there was a whole series in there where I don't know. I could be completely wrong. It's late on a Friday night, but I think Sting took that W. Nyla Rose stole the belt. That's not really her belt. We all know that, but it is what it is. I guess it's some way to try and generate heat. It's not doing a lot of that, and nobody thinks Jade's going to lose because Jade isn't going to lose. Jade's going to go 100-0. There's a reason why they're giving us Jade's record on the big screen. They don't do that for anyone else. They want us to follow this. She is AEW's version of Goldberg, where they'll just roll along. I think Nick mentioned earlier, like, how do you get out of it? Eventually, someone will come along that's worthy, and they'll line her up against somebody. But at this point, why not just give her the AEW women's title altogether and retire the TBS belt? I don't know, but you can't. Like, she's getting better and better and better. I think she's a great promo. I think she's a good interview. I think some of her matches are clunky and all over the place, but is that all on her, or is it some of the inexperienced challengers she's had? A bit of both, but nonetheless, I'm a big fan of Jade, and I really see her, 164-0, maybe undefeated in her career. Jarrett shouldn't be wrestling. Yes, he's very talented. I give him credit, but he's stale and has zero reason to be taking up spots for others more deserving talent like Miro, House of Black, and Ruby. Smile, I completely agree with you. And it's like this, folks. It really is like this. You have Tony Khan, and he has an opportunity. And we talked about this for a while now. And I've kind of jumped on this soapbox before. But all Tony has to do is just focus on his company. Focus on what he already has. He doesn't need to bring in Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett doesn't add enough to the company or enough to the overall bottom line to bring in and put him on camera. You want to bring him in and use him for his experience in the backstage, and people can debate whether he's good or bad on that regard. However, he's still experienced. Maybe he could add a lot. We believe Tony needs people like Jarrett or Regal or you know, people that have the know, have been up and down the roads, that understand what they're trying to accomplish to make the show a little bit better. But you need to focus on that talent that you're not using. You consistently hear Tony say, "Oh, you know, there's only so many hours of TV and we're trying to get everyone in." Yeah, but you got all this talent, and then tonight you get Bandido and Roosh, who have both been in the company less than 2 months, but we haven't seen Miro in a minute. We haven't, well, we know House of Black was a bit of an outlier because there was extenuating circumstances with that situation. But ultimately, oh wait, my favorite part of the week, Mark Henry. Yeah. But yes, no, I mean, just Tony, focus on, you have a ton of fucking talent. So just like, don't worry about the WWE. The WWE is a big bad bastard and they're going to keep doing what they do. So just let them do it. Focus on what you have and make it a strong organization. Make it organized, make it efficient. Keep the in-house fighting in-house. Get the reporters out of the fucking dressing rooms. Warn your talent if you're caught fucking leaking information and backstage shit to the press. We can't have you here. You're part of the problem. You're a cancer. You're manipulating a situation that I can't control as the owner, and I can't have that. But beyond that, just work on what you already have. Use the talent you got. I guarantee you'll make your show better. Don't use all the people that just you like, or just certain people are in your ear because of insecurities and their own shortcomings. Use the people that the fans tell you are over. If FTR walk through those ropes and the crowd goes wild, book them, use them in what they're known for: tag team matches, not singles matches, not multi-man matches. You hear Wardlow come out and the fans go nuts. Just book him as the monster he is. Don't get him in convoluted storylines that don't matter. Don't make him look weak. Just let him destroy for a while. Then find someone for him to compete with. But build the stars you have. Don't fuck with MJF. MJF is your fucking guiding star, your big bright light, you know? Just follow that star. You don't change it, you don't fuck with it, you don't force him in any direction. Just be you. If they cheer, we'll babyface it. If they boo, we'll heel it. But don't change who you are at all. Be that guy. Worry about the little things that you can control in your own company. Who gives a fuck what Triple H books? Who gives a fuck how many times they go to Saudi Arabia? You just go back to what you promised the fans 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when all this was happening. We're going to give you the best tag team division in the world with the highest action, the highest hitting, the best teams are going to go over. Let's see it. We're going to be a company that listens to the audience, not just a pocket of the audience, but the whole audience, the people that want to be fans. And we are going to dig in and we're going to give you guys what you want. We're not just going to, we're going to do what's best for business. We're going to put business first. That's the way I want to see it. And I know that was a bit long-winded, but yeah, I mean, just, you don't need Jeff Jarrett. You got plenty of talent. It's long-winded to come all the way back there. AEW should have a board of bookers, multiple heads, creating good, solid, entertaining, not TK booking. Listen, TK needs to just be the oversight. The guy that looks and goes, what'd you guys come up with? That's good. Change this. Take that out. Check with legal if that's okay. Next. Okay, what did you guys come up with? Good. Wrestlers can have creative control within a control, right? But if you let them go buck wild, or if you're sitting in a room or fucking hanging out with, a lot of people are saying a guy like Jericho, and we, from the peripheral, from the outside looking in, it's very obvious. But when you're in that scenario, it's like Tony has a girlfriend that treats him bad. He's in a bad relationship, and all his friends know he's in a bad thing, and she's fucking with his head, and nobody really knows how to tell him, like, yo, your girl not doing you right. And that's kind of the Chris Jericho Tony Khan relationship, where Tony's like, he's my buddy, he loves me, he's helping, and Jericho's just grinding him. Pause. Welcome back.
Mark. And it's still funny to me how the most accurate thing that's happened was supposed to be a work with MJF. Fire me, you fucking Mark.
Right?
Well, and speaking of that, we have right now Lee Johnson, and who in the Rudy Blue Hell is Lee Johnson. We have the Nightmare Factory versus Orange Cassidy main eventing Rampage. And if you didn't give a shit about Rampage, Tony's letting you know you don't need to.
The thing is, it started off all right with a couple good matches.
But that's the fucking problem, is save that shit for the end.
Right?
If I go to the movies and the fucking best part of the movies at the start and the worst parts at the end, it's still a shit movie.
Well, you know what this is equivalent of? And for, to kind of speak to people in our generation, Nick, it'd be like showing up to a fucking wrestling show back in the day and tonight's main event, the Brooklyn Brawler will go up against, like, what the fuck?
Santino Marella versus Eugene.
Santino Marella versus Eugene, right? Like, that's where you're like, what are we doing? Why are the mid-card guys in the main event? But they like them.
But that's why I keep saying this is their version of WCW Thunder. This should be a Ring of Honor show. You have enough Ring of Honor talent. You have enough Ring of Honor titles floating around and everything. Example, Samoa Joe turning on Wardlow. It's because he has nothing else to do. Jay Lethal being involved in a whole feud. The Jeff Jarrett thing makes more sense if it's Ring of Honor than on Dynamite.
Well, that was
you have the time, and you clearly don't care about this. It's your 205 Live. You tape it after Rampage or Dynamite, all of that. And then you wonder why the crowd's burnt out. It's a special attraction when you do it live. So just make it a Ring of Honor show and be done with it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, like, they have definitely an opportunity. I would move AEW Dark or Dark Elevation perhaps into like a studio show, right? Pull it in one location, keep it simple. And I know it's kind of
that's now. A Daily's Place show. That's a Daily's Place show.
Fair enough. But, we're getting the little kicks.
I was going to say, we got the kick up in the pockets from Orange Cassidy.
Oh, that's what you get. You get kicked in the face. But here's the thing, like Shawty Lee. When was the last time we saw Shawty Lee?
Who?
Yeah, exactly, right?
That's the thing is, this would be a good main event on a Dark taping. But to have this follow something like Roosh versus Bandido, that should have been your main event. Or even Dante Martin versus Brian Cage was a hell of a match. To have that, where it was, and have this where it was. That's why I keep saying it's not a full, just take everything away from AEW and just take it over, rebuild it, start over anew. It needs a fucking punch up. It needs somebody that's not, out there in the locker rooms hanging out with these guys, on their podcast right before he has to go and decide who goes over in a match, to really sit there and make this shit work.
Listen, man, I was told, even when it comes to things like, when you take on a coaching role, or if you're, kind of leading a team, at times you got to take your heart and put it in the drawer. And if you're making all your decisions based on emotion and who's rubbing your belly and making your leg kick, you're literally, you're not going to make the right decisions. You have to be able to separate yourself from like the friend side of things. Because if you can't look at somebody and say, listen, man, that's a really great idea, but you're 52 years old, and I don't think we want to throw you off the cage this year.
Danhausen's getting caught, walked out to the out back, by the way, while we're in picture.
Oh, they broke down.
Danhausen goes down.
Oh, shit.
I feel like fucking the worst boxing ball ever. Down goes Danhausen. Down goes Danhausen.
We lost him in fucking picture-in-picture.
Well, but see, again, we talked about with earlier with picture-in-picture, and it made you compel, and it made you look away from everything else going on. Oh shit, look what they're doing in the ring. It didn't catch my eye until I realized, oh shit, they're walking somebody off out back.
That's a very good point, Nick, right? Like you pointed out earlier, like this match has really got me interested, even in the little box. Opposite answer, right?
Exactly. And this is your main event. That's why, again, it's not a full rebuild. This isn't the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know you're affiliated with them, Tony, and everything. This isn't a full rebuild. This is you need a punch up. You need somebody like I said, that's not buddy with these guys to
Right.
sit there and actually here's what will work versus
Right.
what you think, what they'll tell you works versus what actually works.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Do we even have to answer this question, dude?
L.A. Knight, the king of Kavorka, Eli Drake, 100% takes up the win on that one.
Right. Del Rio's former announcer versus James Ellsworth. All right, Larry.
I can't roll my R's, but Ricardo Rodriguez.
Ricardo was badass. Don't he dusts James Ellsworth. It's not even a close race. Ricardo was a beast, man.
Ricardo versus Robert Stone versus Smart Mark in a fucking three-way events.
Three-way death match.
No, fuck off. No. I was going to say a most of the ladder match, not a fucking death match. Why?
Right.
What would AEW be without their TV deal? They wouldn't sustain without Turner. Their wrestling isn't strong enough. I wonder how long of a leash they have with the network. That's a fun fact. And I do want to touch on this while we're still in picture-in-picture. On the back end of the show, by the way, I'll mind you. But Warner Discovery's infatuated. They're head over heels with what AEW brings in.
Hold the phone. Check the source on that. Check the first people to report that. Because I always find it funny when these articles come out. Like WB did it. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Fact checkers, let me know. But
right.
I mean, it's just funny to me of like, oh, we love them. Like, what is this, fucking Home Alone 2? Like, but yeah, I mean, they like the fact that they did the Shark Week thing, but the ratings are the ratings and controversy is controversy. So one of those two things could kill that deal real quick, Nick.
I will say this though, on one hand, we look at AEW's ratings in comparison and everything to Monday Night Raw, to WWE, as Lee Johnson gets dumped on the outside onto why can't I think of his name? He's the only one that I actually give a fuck about from fucking Nightmare Factory. As Orange Cassidy, yes, Camarado. As Orange Cassidy twisting senton.
This is bad, dude. This is like bad.
No, this is turn your television bad.
It's like backyard wrestling. Like the last sequence there was real bad, and all the fans are going to be like, "What a cool moonsault!" But it was slow. It was clunky. It's like the guys that come to it was all bad. And there was even a botch by Camarado where he got crinkled by Lee. It wasn't a good fucking sequence.
Well, and I'll say this as somebody who's never taken a bump, all of that. Camarado getting his comeuppance or his payback here. Sorry.
Randy.
Oh, Beretta's back. But
Randy. Beretta's back.
It's one of those that this would have been better middle of the show versus this is your main event. If you ended with Bandido versus Roosh, you send the people home happy. In this case, I feel you send the people home confused and displeasured.
Yeah, like some of the fans are like, we love the best friends. Yeah, that was wicked. But most people are like, and the crowd's relatively, oh shit, there you go.
But see, going back to the ratings and everything like that, like we were initially talking about, though, that's the thing is Discovery is very happy that AEW draws in a 930,000 rating and everything like that as we get a 2 count. But that's the thing is it has the potential to be in that 2 million, 1 million range with the Raws, with the Smackdowns of it should dust NXT. NXT is a fucking developmental, and the fact that it's tit for tat with that at times, that's a bad sign.
Did you see this? And I forgot. I went on break, but when we came back, we were in the midst of something else happening, right? And we're getting to the end of the match. But Woods tweeted out, "I can't take it anymore." From the verified account, I can't take it anymore. Interesting.
Well, he did also just have the situation with G4 to where he was future endeavored from there. He's obviously up, down, has become its own pretty much corner of WWE entertainment, if that's how they want to view it. But that's interesting as Orange Cassidy picks up the 1, 2, 3. We're gonna get QT versus Orange Cassidy. And
Why?
My sentiments exactly, sir. 100% of no.
Oh wow, the
disrespect
cameraman
to
had a
QT.
glitch.
Oh yeah.
This whole main event was like botchy, glitchy. Even the cameraman fucked up. This is where I'm
He
like,
keeps going for wide shots when it's not supposed to be a wide shot.
it was a good show. Like, I mean, the start of the show was going well. You change the order of some of these matches, the show might be perfect.
Again, the punch up. This was a good show overall.
Wait, what?
The ending, terrible.
But again, the fans are loving what they're getting now with this kind of shit.
But you need to pull in that audience that went back to WWE because of all the returns and everything like that. And that's what you need to work on with Tony. Your casual fans are your casual fans at this point. I think you can still fix that with the way you punch it up, but you still need to draw back those fans that on a Monday night, say if you're a wrestling fan and if AEW fixed their shit to where if you're not somebody like us that's tuned in and everything, which you should as well, be a friend, tell a friend. But if you're the casual viewing audience of wrestling, if Dynamite's good, so your week starts on Wednesday and it ends on Friday.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No.
And because that's the thing is I think Raw's tower you can topple at this point with the 3 hours with they're close.
You're within striking distance and you're probably doing I put it out to the fans who are in the chat right now. And again, thank you for being here. But here's the question to everybody. Are you happier about the product than you were a year ago or 2 years ago, or are you less happy with the product now? And I think for me, this has been like the roughest patch of AEW wrestling over the last couple months here. Since All Out or leading up to All Out, I think there was a little where things were getting hairy, and then there was.
I would say since Papa Paul took over, that's that
kind of was the pivotal moment. Yeah.
I keep beating to death there of. It's nothing technically initially within AEW changed. It was the landscape around it, and they course corrected and went too far the wrong way. And they went to Swerve from hitting a deer. No pun intended with Swerve being on AEW. But they went to Swerve and they overcorrected.
And the Bucks went to hit a buck.
Right, yeah. Didn't want to hit a buck. There you go. See, tag team.
Back again.
But they overcorrected, and that's what ended up with them in a fucking ditch right now, I feel.
Yeah, it's that old adage, right? You hit a patch of ice and you don't hammer your brakes, you turn into it. And that's if you fucking, if you lock up on that skid, you're fucked. And that's kind of what it feels like happened. And again, as fans, there's opportunity to correct it. Make Full Gear amazing. Don't bore us. Don't stretch it out. Make sure something's compelling.
Don't have 27 matches for 18 hours. There's this thing called a pre-show. Use it.
Yeah, give us. Yeah, well, they do. That's the thing. They had 3 matches last pre-show.
I forgot that entirely.
How do you feel about Bray LA Knight? I think it's cool. I think surprising, but cool.
Right. But so I see some people have already, but we're getting towards the door because we're back here for the mega show, the Mecha Godzilla of professional wrestling tomorrow night with GCW kicking it off. Juan at 7, NWA Juan at 8, Wrestling Revolver again Juan, but also at 8. And again, there's still nothing saying we won't peek around at other shows and everything. If you've been here for a long time, we've been on stream and then turned around and popped up and showed up on another stream and everything. So 100%. But what is your rating tonight for Rampage? We gave our ratings. We're both about a 7.5 for SmackDown. What's your rating for Rampage?
I think I'll go 5.5. And I just give the half mark because I'm feeling good on a Friday. But I mean, I like the beginning. It's a 1 hour show, and I think 30 minutes of it was pretty good, and a little bit of the last half an hour was pretty good. So a little over 50% for me.
I was at a 6. until we got to the end. It was in reaching distance, like we talked about, even with Raw and everything. It was in, you know, I could give you a little back scratch of SmackDown. But that ending, 2-point reduction, Orange Cassidy versus who? Right. So I've got to go at a 4, maybe if I want to go 4.5. And I know, you hate AEW. No, do better, be better. I see what's in you. Do it. God damn it. Accusations.
5 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 6 out of 6.25 out of 10.
Oh, we're getting down to the decimals.
10 out of 10 for SmackDown, Rich. 4 out of 10 for Rampage, accurate.
And us, 11 out of 10. What?
SmackDown better, 10 plus. All right, simmer down a little, Mike.
Well, even at least I get to there of SmackDown was the better show out of the two, but that's kind of commonplace at this point. I get Rampage has an uphill battle, but it's coming off of it does mirror a little bit of SmackDown. SmackDown started off super hot, and its foundation of Rampage started off with the CM Punk return and everything, and now we get 205 Live.
Yeah, I mean, and again, Rampage, I'm okay with it being like a secondary show, but just give us good matches. Like, be that, like, treat it almost like when NXT was on the network. 1 hour, in and out, very little bullshit. Just get to solid match. Give us solid matches. And format the show in such a way that maybe Orange Cassidy and Shoddy, who the fuck are you, Lee, open the show. And maybe it's Roosh that ends the show, or maybe it was what was the other match that was decent in the first?
Well, Dante Martin versus Brian Cage.
Yeah, even that would like fine. At least we know Brian Cage, and Brian Cage used to kind of have a belt. But yeah, like if that was one of those two matches would have been better. They're in love with Orange Cassidy. I don't know what to tell you, but it's not good. It is not. Open the show with it, and yeah, I mean, Rampage is a throwaway. They're not going to do anything big on a tape show. Make it Ring of Honor. Figure your lives out.
Right. Yeah. Unfortunately, AEW at this point is starting to feel more like an echo chamber more than anything.
Right. Since Cody left, they've been slipping.
You're not wrong. He's very much come out and advocately said of how he didn't leave because of any issues with the Elite, what have you, this, that, and the third. But
I feel like he was contractual.
I think Cody's good at being spin doctor, Bunkmaster Flex, on any sort of situation.
Oh, he's just leaving that door open in case him and Papa Paul don't get along.
Right. Oh, you're still mad about when I smashed the sledgehammer, that throne with the sledgehammer? Okay. Well, yeah.
You said you were going to treat me good, but you're going to put all your guys over me, aren't you?
Right.
Oh, shit. All right. Hey, Tony, remember me?
I don't know if you're, picking up the win three times in a row on Seth. I think you're kind of made in the shade with lemonade.
We'll see. But I'm playing because I do think Triple H is smart enough to know what to do in that
right.
Scenario. And he's not going to
answer this question.
It's all you.
From Jeff, Nick and KJ. One more thing also. If you was doing it since 5-on-5 war games, who you want to see team with Sheamus versus Bloodline, possibly Dragunov and Sami Zayn? Well, I think Sami's naturally going to fit in with the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had to step away, take a pause for the cause. As far as with the Brutes and Drew, I guess I'm going to hang my hat on Tyler Bate.
I like that show. It's such a solid show. It's one of those ones where I'm like, I hope Nick's right. I hope.
Because what else has he been doing?
Right. I hope our prognosticator. Yeah, that's what we're going with.
Pontificator,
whatever. Our fucking man with the crystal ball. I hope you're right on this one. But shit. Ilya's not a bad show, and he doesn't quite, instantly tie in for me, but I'd be okay with it.
The only other show I could see would be Joe Kofi from Gallus.
Really? No,
that's reaching into the archives there.
Yeah,
if it's still because I feel like it's got to have that European flair. Obviously, that's
Right.
how
No,
you
it
make the
should
tie
be.
in there. It's still WWE, but Dragunov's still tied up with the NXT title. JD's still tied up in NXT.
No.
Tyler Bate and Gallus, well, with Joe Coffey,
Dude, Harry
are
Smith
the only ones
Jr.
floating around. Why?
Harry Smith Jr.
Oh, please, yes. But why didn't we
Yeah,
get that at Castle?
I thought we'd get that at Castle too, but he kind of fits the mold.
But it was like when we were talking about Tegan Knox coming back. Now at this point and everything, it's still one of those of, well, why didn't you? You had the perfect opportunity, and I get he perfectly fits the mold, but who to me it's like if you want to pair it out like this, so we've got Sheamus versus Roman, we've got Drew versus Solo, we've got the Brutes, Butch and Ridge versus the Usos, so you have to find someone that could have a feud with Sami. To me,
KO.
No, that's not a bad shout.
I like it.
Honestly, that's really
KO.
not.
Look, smart Mark, smile Mark with us. So, yeah.
That's a nice little sneaky pick there. I like that. I didn't even think about that. Figures you, the KO doppelganger, would pick your cousin from another.
It makes, like, I mean, again, it kind of makes sense where he's like, you know what, I'm sick of their shit and I don't like what they're doing to Sami. So, you know what, Sami, I'm going to get in this fucking cage and kick the shit out of you until I knock some sense into you.
Still, you know, if KO's in there, it's going to have a hell of a spot. And it's still special. I feel like if we get close to War Games and you guys don't even have a fifth member. And then you hear
because we haven't seen him in a minute, right?
And the crowd's going to come unglued.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean you shove him and Sami together. You just planting the seed. We got time. We got time.
Let it percolate.
Time.
Right.
How about Logan Paul? Fucking funny.
MCL, ACL.
Answered. Austin answered.
Yeah, exactly. I get that there's the potential there. 100%. I still say sign the man, but again, it's much like CM Punk demands out on the sidelines for a while. Jake Paul? No. Well, if you're gonna do Jake Paul, you feud him with Solo.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, no, that's not a bad shout. They look alike. Like, I mean, they're whatever.
Right. When are they coming back to Dallas?
I don't know.
For NXT. Well, Mick, sorry, I don't work for them officially. So I don't know their touring schedule.
Yeah, we'll let you know. But stay tuned.
Right. You'll know when we know.
Keep coming back, and I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Thanks.
True story. But with that being said, Nick, I feel like we're heading towards the door. It's late. We've got a 3+ hour stream under our belts tonight and tomorrow night. I have a feeling it's going to be 4+.
Well, at minimum, we're at least here for 3 shows, folks. So you've got.
Did you see
once? What?
Sorry to interrupt, but did you see the fucking that NWA card is a fucking menu? Like it's.
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of how we mentioned Kenny Omega earlier, if you want a smorgasbord of wrestling, and I know that's gonna put you right there, folks, this is the place you need to be. Come tomorrow because we not only do you get it all nice in one nice little neat package. With the Wrestling for Life Network, but you get 2 hosts. What? You got 3 shows. What? You got the NWA. What? GCW. What? Wrestler Revolver. What? Anything and everything you could want in professional wrestling, whether you want modern style wrestling, you got that with Wrestling Revolver. You want the old school wrestling. You want, guys that look like Trevor Murdoch, guys that look like, they just worked at a fucking butcher shop. You got that.
That's a good show.
If you want, hardcore death match upon death match upon death match, you want blood, guts, and gore, you've got that with GCW. And there is no place out there that is giving you, again, all in one nice and neat little package, all with a nice little pretty bow on the top, other than the Wrestling for Life Network. What?
No, it's absolutely true, folks. And that's why we love coming back every night and doing this again and again and again. Don't forget, it is the mega stream tomorrow. As Big Nick just said, it is a smorgasbord of action and fun. And the Saturday night streams are always a little wild, always a little crazy. Bring your snacks, your goodies, strap in, strap on. It's going to be a hell of a show. We are grinding at a different level, and it's just that simple, folks. Doesn't matter what happens. We just keep on showing up. Rampage was like mediocre. SmackDown mid. SmackDown not bad. Any big wow moments for you tonight?
Good, not great. I guess the biggest wow moment again, I know it might have been a little long in the tooth, a little convoluted, would be Sheamus coming back. We've gotten that set up for War Games. We've got Drew involved. So it looks like we're finally getting both sides of the War Games matches set up.
They're filling out a pretty big pop for Sarah Logan as well. And the whole new look of the Viking Raiders, a little more, a different tone, a different attitude. I like it. So, I mean, for me, that was kind of my moment of the night. Rampage. It is what it is. It's kind of a throwaway tape show. But other than that, another amazing stream, sir. Fans, thank you so much for the love. Over 100 likes tonight. We're almost at 1K, and we're not stopping. We're just hitting milestone after milestone. Nick, any final thoughts?
Big T's, or I fucked all that up. Anyway,
what?
Right. What? Anyways, fucking, we'll get to it. I was going for a moment and I fucked it all right up out the gate.
That's how you know it's
our
real.
Shit is real. That's how you know we're live, folks. Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, you better put that for life with it. Why?
See you on the flip side, folks. Mega stream tomorrow. Don't miss it. Bye.